The Big Match on WLR.
With George Corbett Skoda.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome everybody here to the banks of the Lee. It's the All-Ireland quarter-final. Waterford taking on Tipperary. It's a do-or-die clash, and of course Waterford hoping to make it back-to-back All-Ireland semi-final appearances in Croke Park, while Tip are hoping to recover from their disappointing Munster final. Had a brilliant start, but Limerick came back to beat them. They want to get back to winning ways. Team news is that both teams will play a selection. That means just one change, a forced change on the Waterford team, with unfortunately Conor Gleeson red carded last weekend. He's replaced by the experienced Shane McNulty. On the other side is Paddy Cadell comes in from Seamus Kennedy into defence, so just one change on both sides. The pitch in absolutely brilliant condition. There's a bit of a breeze blowing from the city and down to the Blackrock end. It's not going to be huge, but this is a real big one. It's Sheedy against Cahill, it's Liam against Liam, it's Waterford against Tipperary, and we haven't beaten, would you believe, since way back in 2008. But the man who joined me for co-commentary today has happy memories of playing them here way back in 2002. It seems a long time ago. Fergal Hartley, great to have you on board. What memories you must have of that brilliant day. Again, Tip the hottest of favourites, but you really stung him here on the banks of the Lee.
Yeah, All-Ireland champions at the time, Kieran, and had come into the final on the back of a huge win over Limerick, and as you say, we were they were overwhelming favourites, and shocked them big time on the day, and let's hope we have a repeat today.
Now, the fact that Tipperary are reeling after an unbelievable first half, like they really blitzed the All-Ireland champions, 2-16 in the first half, it really looked home and hose, but Limerick turned it around. They're reeling from that defeat. On the other hand, Waterford are on the back of a super win, albeit a lot of pressure in that second half with 14 men, but overall two contrasting teams getting to this stage, and secondly, two different age profiles.
Yeah, and there's so much to consider there, Kieran. Even in just the question you asked, there's so much to consider, and no different in yourself. In my circles we've been speaking about it all week, and nobody seems to be able to call how is this going to go. I mean, on form based on the last game, it's Waterford, but prior to that the form team was Tipperary, and even the first half against Limerick, they were literally unstoppable. If we get to that point, or if they get to that point today where we leave them get that good start, because as you say, there is an age gap here between both teams, but if we leave them get 10, 11, 12 points up, even though in the modern game that lead is not insurmountable, I don't think we're going to come back from a 10 point. They're not going to make that same mistake twice. They're absolutely reeling, as you say, from last year. The criticism they took, albeit that it was Limerick, the best team in the country at the moment, but the criticism they shifted for that second half collapse, that's not going to happen again in my view.
Now, from a Waterford perspective, Waterford was disappointed losing that lead, but that first half performance, go back to last year's second half against Kilkenny, very, very special. So that's given them great belief. And then the question in the back of their head is, how do they lose such a lead like we did against Laois the week before?
Yeah, but I do think, the circumstances last week were somewhat unique. I mean, the heat, I was up there, Kieran, I was in the stand, no different than yourself, and you'd be sweating, sitting down watching the game in the stand. It was incredible. And to bring us back to 14 men, and look at, for 3/4 of the game, we bossed that game, and we just ran out of a little bit of fuel with 14 men. And also, look at a couple of goals went against. I'm not actually worried about that at all. I don't think that had there was no similarities between that and the Tipperary collapse. I don't think Waterford was a collapse. And if you think of it, in the last 2 weeks, Kieran, albeit it was Laois and we expected to win, but they're difficult games when the pressure comes on, and when the pressure came on, we responded very well in injury time, and they can be very, very challenging games. A, because the tendency is to underestimate a team like Laois. We're not a bad team, and B, that just didn't follow the script. And when a player goes out with a particular script in their mind, i.e. that this game, okay, it's going to be tough, but we're going to win it comfortably in the end, right, and that doesn't happen, it's a very, very difficult space to find yourself in, and Waterford showed the mental strength to overcome that.
Psychologically, as I mentioned, the 02 win, we beat him here in 04, Paul O'Brien late goal, we beat him in 06 and 08 up in Croke Park. Since then we've met him 8 times, lost 7, drawn 1. That's a huge, desperate statistic to look from a Waterford point of view. That'll, in one sense, if anything, wouldn't drive him on, but secondly, Tip's confidence must be sky high. We're one county they don't fear anymore. Yeah,
and it's funny you say that, Kieran, because even though a lot of the players involved in last week's win over Galway wouldn't have had a huge history over Galway, that history that Waterford have over Galway, I think, meant something. Even though going into that game last week, I was worried based on the performance against Clare and against Laois. In the back of my head, I said, that tradition favours us against Galway for whatever reason. Sometimes on paper, Galway looks stronger than Waterford, and yet Waterford always were able to find it within themselves to overcome Galway. Unfortunately for us, Kieran, even though there was a period, as I say, from 02 to 07, 08, where we kind of felt we had Tip's number, the roles have reversed, the tables have turned, and now Tip have it on us. I mean, I think it's 8 games, 7 defeats, 1 draw in Championship hurling. And that will, I think that will give some solace to Tipperary and Tipperary people based on their collapse against Limerick.
But you mentioned it there, to these lads today, these Waterford lads, they've a lot of them, and we spoke out just off air, have minor All-Irelands, under 20 All-Irelands. They're winners, they've confidence within themselves, so history to them doesn't mean a whole lot. But from a Tip point of view, for some of these players, it's last chance saloon to. Do they want to bow out here in the quarter-final defeat to Waterford, or do they want to make it back to Croke Park, and probably for some of them for the last time?
Oh yeah, and you're looking at some of the greatest hurlers we've seen in the recent generation. Páirc Uí, I mean, again, if I was to pick my best team in the last 20-25 years, or possibly even my best team ever, Páirc Uí, he has been a phenomenon for Tipperary. Is this his last day after beating Brendan Maher the same, Shamie Callan and Noel McGrath, lots of guys with lots of miles, even some of the younger lads, the likes of John Bubbles O'Dwyer, they have miles on the clock. Is this last hurrah for some of those players? Is that something that's going to drive them on? Or are we going to see that they'll run out of gas in the last quarter, and the younger players, the likes of the Darragh Lyons coming on, the likes of the Michael Kiley coming on, who always give massive impetus to Waterford, is that going to be the determining factor? We won't know until 80 minutes time.
So if you just joined us, the Waterford team playing as selected, just that one change, and of course Tipperary likewise, just one change. The one change on the Waterford team is Shane McNulty coming in at 4. So the Waterford team in goal, Sean O'Brien, full backline, Ian Kenny, Conor Prunty the captain, Shane McNulty, half backline as the last day, Caleb Lyons, Shane Bennett, Kieran Bennett, middle of the field, Jamie Byrne, man of the match last week, hoping for the same again, being partnered by Peter Hogan, truly outstanding last week again. Half forward line, Jack Fagan got the all-important goal. Jack Prendergast never turned in a poor performance to Waterford. We want more to say from Jack. And Stephen Bennett, our linchpin really, taken over from Páirc Uí, but not alone in frees. He's become a leader and brilliant scores to play with. And the full forward line, Desi Hutchinson, didn't get a score last week, but my God, did he put in some shift. Austin Gleeson coming back to what we know Austin can. 3 points last week. He's been our real go-to man the last 2 games. And top of the left, Patrick Corn, delighted to see him start again from last week. But overall, the team, the Conor Gleeson factor, Shane McNulty, we're fortunate to have a man like Shane McNulty, but Conor Gleeson is a loss, but Shane won't be found wanting.
Yeah, and look, I suspect, I don't know what the selectors have and the management team have been thinking, but in my head, as the year progressed, it was a flick of a coin between Shane McNulty, who was a great cornerback, and Conor Gleeson. So you are replacing to some extent like for like. Conor Gleeson's a loss, no question, but we have an ample and an excellent replacement in Shane McNulty. The only thing for Shane McNulty is sometimes a player's confidence can be hit when they haven't been picked for a couple of games in a row, and now you're coming in a little bit cold into the game, a little bit looking to make sure that your first 1 or 2 balls you win. That's the key for Shane McNulty today. First 1 or 2 balls, he doesn't concede a score, he gets himself into this game, and once he does, Shane McNulty is a super cornerback.
One huge big call last weekend by the management, as we all know, Tig de Booker and a lumber in the number 6 shirt. Unfortunately, we wish Tig a speedy recovery. He's some loss to Waterford, but in fairness to Liam Cahill, never mentioned that. In Camille Daly settling into number 6, and then we had the big change last weekend, Shane Bennett going back to number 6. What a gamble, but my God, did that gamble pay off, Fergal?
Yeah, and look at
not a gamble, but the fact that he hadn't been in championship
absolutely
there.
And I think if you remember back to our commentary back, I think it was the day against Limerick inside in Welsh Park, and he was playing I was at a fuller corner forward, and I certainly for one would have always loved to see Shane Bennett in the halfback, and I think that's his best position. And if I could say, Kieran, as well, it's a little bit of a throwback. We are one of the few teams left that have these kind of almost players that just play off the cuff. We have the likes of Ozzie Gleeson, the likes of Shane Bennett, the likes of Stephen Bennett. It's almost like back to the days of John Milan and Ken McGrath and Dan and Flynn and Kelly and so on, whereby, in some ways we were criticised for it, but we were just a team that played with instinct and off the cuff. And I have to say, regardless of what you think in terms of tactics or whatnot, what a pleasure it is to come to a match and watch the likes of Shane Bennett, Stephen Bennett, who Stephen Bennett did a little, I'm not sure they didn't show it in the Sunday game after, it was a little audacious flick the last day. You just don't see that. Players are very mechanical, very robotic, highly trained. It's absolutely refreshing to see players like those come out and just hurl with instinct as if they were playing a kid's game up in the park.
Very true. And one man that you know very well personally, involved with him when he came back from his soccer career in UK, Desi Hutchinson. What a talent. He lit up Páirc Uí Chaoimh on a cold November evening. I'll never forget it up here last November. We were frozen to the core. Desi let us up. More the same from Desi. Didn't score last week, but my God, give him the right ball, he'll do damage, and you know better than most.
Yeah, if there was one kind of, I don't even want, it'd be Kieran, it'd be nearly impossible to be critical of last week's performance. Like, it was inspirational, right? If there was one thing I'd like to see change, is a better supply of ball to Desi. And the traditionalists would say, look, you have to win your own ball, and you do. But in most situations, when Desi got the ball, it was a 2-on-1 situation. You've got a man with his talent. He's genius at some points. And we need to find a way of getting ball to him that he can. If you give him a ball in a 1-on-1 situation, you're almost guaranteed a return from it, either a free or a score. And that's the one thing I'd like to see change from the last day, if we possibly can, is get a better supply of ball to Desi Hutchinson.
The refereeing, in fairness to the last few weeks, we've often been critical referees. They got a lot of slating during the National League, but they seem to leave the game flow more. They seem to have got that balance right. But a huge day for Colm Lyons. The ref has a huge part to play in this game. Two teams gone out to hurl. The ref needs to leave them hurl.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Kieran. But within that, then we've seen the odd crazy decision, like the Conor Gleeson thing last week. I'm still reeling from that to some extent. Like, I think he should be playing this game today. Okay, you can justify the red card, but that's what you're doing. You're looking to justify the red card. That was a decision that didn't have to be made, and to be fair, half the blame for that has to go to Joe Canning. You know, it was for a man who had such a great career, it wasn't befitting of his final day playing early for Galway. But there has been some crazy decisions, like the one between Clare and Tip as well, the penalty and whatnot. But you're right, generally speaking, referees have left the game flow, and I think that's what we're hoping to see again today.
Huge Waterford support going through Killa and indeed Castlemarty. You'd say there was 50,000 coming here. There's a crowd of under 7, but my God, thank God the blue and white are in the majority. But for people who can't be here in Canada, Michael Maher of Abbeyside, great underage prospect. Of course, Kilrossenty breeding, he's in Vancouver. In Australia, Katie and Eve White from Kilrossenty, of course, huge involvement in the G. They're in Perth and Sydney, down in Australia. Also in Perth is Roseanne Ryan from Adeligo, and of course in New South Wales, the ever-present Noel Merlin from Villarstown. In Hunter Valley, he's there since 69, but he's blue and white as you get. And over in London, Will Maloney, to all of those. And Vera Cannell, a huge impact in Borden. She's 60 today, and what a birthday present to be for Vera. Her son Nick is the head man and secretary in Club Day, who've done such great work, and over 1,000 members this week. So great day all round for families at home and abroad, and for the people abroad. This is huge, Fergus. Absolutely
huge, as you say, Kieran. And look, just go back to the point you made earlier about last week and the crowd. Where I was in the crowd last week, I was one of the supporters, one of the fans, and I'm not sure, it was only 4,000 people, which you suspect was only maybe 2,000 Waterford people. And I don't think I've ever been at a game where I felt that almost connection between the supporters and the players. The supporters were literally, and maybe it was the diehards were there, I don't know, but they were literally willing every ball, every passage of play, every tackle with the team. And even when things got tough, there wasn't a murmur of criticism. It was all just helping to drive the team on. I think that's what you're going to see here again today.
Fergal, are you a believer of momentum? We beat Galway. The Miners did a great one over Tip. A win here today. We're on that roll. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I am, but I'm also a believer that a team like Tipperary, of their quality, when they're scolded, there's going to be a kick, there's going to be a comeback. They're not going to go down without a fight. So this is hard to call. I mean, Tip on paper with that forward line, exceptional talent. It's a hard one to call, Kieran.
Around the Veen here on the banks of the Lee, Páirc Uí Chaoimh, it's Tip and Waterford. Fergal, the start is always so important. It's never been so important. We need a good start.
We do, because what we can't leave, Tipperary are going to come out with all guns blazing here, Kieran. We can't leave Tip get the same start as they did against Limerick, because if they get that start, Kieran, I don't think there's going to be a way back for Waterford. If we go 10-12 points down, they're not going to leave that lead go twice in a row.
I'm sure Liam Cahan, the backroom team, are well aware of that. Let's hope we get it. Ball in, and the quarter final underway in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Overcast afternoon, but perfect conditions for a good game of hurling. Waterford playing from right to left as we look down, defending the Blackrock goal. Now, right, bit of stalemate in the throw-in. I'm amazed Colm Lyons doesn't try to throw it in again, but something like a loose ruck, you'd see the lines against the Springboks, but I think he'll have to throw it in there. He left that go on a bit, Fergus.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a ruck like that in rugby even, Kieran.
So ball in and away, come Waterford, well picked up. Peter Hogan had such a great game the last day. Gets it out to Kieran Bennett. Kieran going for a long one. Is it going to tail right and wide? I think it is. Work to go. Good bit of interplay, but right and wide. First wide of the afternoon.
Yeah, first ball for Peter Hogan and Kieran Bennett. And again, just an interesting point. In our midfield and our half-back, we have the potential of 8 or 9 scores, and we're hoping we'll get them today.
So first wide of the afternoon goes to Waterford here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. So ball from the puck out. Puck outs are so important, Fergal, and it's part of the modern game, getting that right. But ball in the end, tipped off over men out.
First 2 passes of play, a block from Peter Hogan and a pass from Peter Hogan. So we only want 1 minute on the clock. We've 2 great plays from Peter Hogan. Let's hope he settles in just like he did last week.
So line ball way over on the far side. The crowd spread around, and there's people in the terraces which you haven't seen for a while. Great to have the atmosphere back at a hurling match. So line ball to the tip men. Ronan Maher, good man. In towards Callan, the experienced Callan, well read inside by Shane Bennett, younger of the brothers, the 9 handicapped golfer. Might be one of the better golfers up in Lismore Golf, but he's also one of the best hurlers in County Waterford. A chance now for Waterford. Patrick Curran excelled last week in the middle field, opens the shoulder, lovely interplay. Jamie Byrne, Patrick Curran started off where he left off last week. Super score by the Dungarvan man.
Yeah, brilliant from Patrick Curran, and let's hope, we know what's in Patrick Curran, Kieran. We've seen glimpses of it. Let's hope he has the full 70 minutes of this today.
Puck out by Barry Hogan, out towards the middle, batted down near the Waterford 65. This could be dangerous from Waterford point of view. Noel McGrath playing it way over near the far end and gives it back to Rowan Maher, 2 of the experienced men, but that's gone left, that's gone wide. Plenty of room for it out there. It's a wider piece, but Waterford get the opening score inside 2 minutes. So puck out down now right. Sean O'Brien made his championship debut the last day. Did well. We want more of the same from the De La Salle man. Well won by Waterford from that puck out. Can we keep that momentum going? It was Desi gave a lovely cross ball over to the far side. And that's a super score there. That was a lovely movement. Great vision by Desi. Again, he knows to find his man. Found it perfectly. Great score.
But what a puck out, Kieran, from Sean O'Brien. A 70-yard puck out. Literally like a bullet. Savage to pick out Desi Hutchinson from that puck out.
So 2 points, no score. Ball in the middle of the field there. This is going to be the crucial part of this game. Many of the punters have been saying during, well blocked down by Hogan again. Way over on that side. As busy as a bee. Picks up that ball. Good play by Hogan. Into the corner it goes. Desi makes room for himself. Oh, a hard block down there from behind. That's good defensive play by Tipperary. Falling down is Dan McCormack, playing back inside the 45. Waterford win it back. Can we steady ourselves? Can we get a score? It looks good, but is it going to tail left and wide? It's gone over the bar. Desi didn't score last week. Now he's got a deserved score. Great interplay. Great finish by Desi.
Yeah, and brilliant. He got blocked down on the first one, got a second chance and got it over the bar. That's going to do his confidence a world of good, Kieran.
3 points, no score. 3 minutes gone here. But we know what Tipperary can do. We saw him in the first half against the men of Limerick. They blitzed the All-Ireland champions. Now they have a chance of their opening score of the second half. And over the bar it goes. Jason Ford gets his first score of the afternoon.
Yeah, typical of the modern game, Kieran. Less than 4 minutes, 4 scores. And I think that's what we can expect for the rest of the afternoon. Almost a score a minute.
Jason Ford, 11 points the last day against the All-Ireland champions, looking for more of the same. Waterford win it again. Lovely bit of interplay. Jamie Byrne coming on the shoulder, way over on the far side. The North Stand, as it's called now, inside the 45, standing on the sideline. It'll be some score if it goes over. That's where it's gone. Brilliant from the All-Star there, literally standing on the sideline. Over the bar it goes. Super score by Jamie.
Yeah, wow, it's just the kind of stuff you'd pay to come in and watch. Just incredible stuff from Jamie Byrne.
4 points to 1. We've played 4.5 minutes. The George Corbett scored a big match. Waterford win it again. Waterford on the way through, and Jamie gets number 2 there. All too easy. Hogan's puck out wasn't the best, but punished to the full by Jamie Byrne.
Yeah, Kieran, we know from last week how important Jamie Byrne is. He's after a super start. Let's hope he has 70 minutes of this in him.
Short puck out. Paddy Cadell, who got the late call up. Over to the far side, covering back well is Jack Prendergast. Loves to do that to Lismore man, putting Waterford on the attack. What can we do here? Lovely bit of interplay. Ball back to Stephen Bennett. He's gone inside the 45. He's on the D. He has options. Takes the trigger. Oh, well blocked inside by the tip defence there. Under pressure. Cathal Barrett comes away, and in the end they cleared out what should have been a certain score, but Bennett went for the goal. Tip defence were up to it, and they cleared the lines. Now at the other end, at the Blackrock end, it's attacking. This could be very, very dangerous. Bubbles the wire is coming forward. He gets the ball across. Good chance of a goal for Callan. Back in the net for the Tipman. Longest serving member, played here back in 98 against Stephen Frampton and Tom Feeney. Now he's got a goal when they're on the management team. Super score by Big Callan.
Yeah, goal chance at one end, Kieran. Maybe when Stephen Bennett could have tapped it over the bar, but that's his instinct. Go for goal. Down the other side. Great finish, Jamie Callan. Huge swing.
5 minutes, first goal. It's 1-1 Tipperary, 5 points Waterford. What a goal can do to the crowd here, who are buzzing here with excitement. Jack Fagan wearing the white helmet today. Back inside to Ozzie Gleeson. Oh my God, right and wide there. Did everything perfect. I was waiting for the net to rattle. Took the paint off the right upright, right and wide. Second wide for Waterford.
Yeah, brilliant play again. Jack Fagan, Ozzie Gleeson. There's 2 goal chances in less than a minute. 3 goal chances, 2 Waterford, 1 Tip. Unfortunately, it's 1-0 to Tip.
Barry Hogan going long, dropping aside a 45 ball nearly into the path of Michael Breen there. He's a danger man when he gets running. The former UCC star gets it back to his midfield partner Alan Flint for Tip on the 65. They're going for a long one. Jason Ford there, half hooked, is dropping dangerously into danger zone. Prunty goes high. There's a man inside him. It's Ford. It's a goal.
Yeah, Shamey Callan and Kieran Shamey Callan. Look, we've had a great start, but we've had too much loose play. There's 3 times now
I think it was Kieran Bennett actually was tracking back. He came inside, and in the end, the ball just beat him. Back at the net, a killer for Waterford.
Yeah. Just a couple of situations, Kieran. 3 times now players have ghosted into positions all loose, so we got to be careful on this one.
It's 2-1 to 5. Waterford trail by 2 after a brilliant start. Tip with those 2 hurtful goals from a Waterford perspective. Michael Breen, great block down on the That's great play by Jack Prendergast. Super play by the Lismore man. He's now coming forward. He has the ball in his stick. He's looking for options. They're off his shoulder. It's a case of taking the best one. He's given it outside to Jamie Byrne. That's a good decision. My point of view, and he was correct. He held it up brilliantly. One of the youngest on the team, showed great maturity. Gave it to Jamie. He got one on the right sideline. Now he's got one on the left. Super score by the All-Star.
Brilliant, Jack Prendergast. 7 minutes on the clock. Jamie Byrne, 3 points. Super start for Jamie Byrne.
2-1, 6 points. He was man of the match last week. Tip goes short. They're going long now, down into the danger zone. Covering back in the corner, Ian Kenny, the Ballygunner man, steadies himself. What's he going to do with it? Gives it straight out to the middle. There to take it is his clubmate Peter Hogan. Bill showed it too much. Dan McCormack coming forward now. Oh, it's going to be a certain score. It couldn't even be a goal. But McCormack shortens the grip, takes the shot. He sends it left and wide. Had too much time. Peter Hogan seemed to do everything right. Lost possession. In came Dan McCormack. Under pressure, left and wide. Let off for Waterford. Score remains 6 points, 2-1. Tip lead by 1.
Yeah, look at an absolute sitter for Dan McCormack, and he probably is the least prolific of the Tipperary forwards in terms of scoring. So luckily it was him. If it was any other forward, it wouldn't have been a miss, but it should have been a certain score.
Man of the match against Clare, of course. He's a UCC Fitzcup winner. He, as you say, very much underrated, but they must have seen something back. And Sean O'Brien not happy, the Waterford keeper there, of course. He's really did well last week. He's one of the youngest players on the team as regards goalkeeping experience, but not quite sure who's he calling in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's...
Yeah, I think it's just a 65. I think there was just a bit of a argy-bargy as such. So it's a 65, but what a rip-roaring start. We've played 8 minutes. We've got 9 scores, but 2 of them are goals for Tipperary. Signals from Waterford point of view. Now they have a 65. It's 7 points to 6. This is a chance to stretch it to 2. The man coming out to take it, Jason Ford. 11 points the last day. 1-8 in the opener against Clare. Make that 22 points from a deadly accurate forward. The Silvermines man, wearing 10 on his back today. He's worn different numbers over the years, but it hasn't changed his performance. He sends it over the bar. It's 1-2 Jason Ford. It's 2-2 Tipperary, 6 points Waterford.
He's an exceptional free taker, Kieran, and all day long, it's a 65, I know that, but we just need to be careful. If we give frees, he'll pop them over all day long from any distance, any angle.
Standard of free taking and hurling has never been higher. As the ball goes long near the 45, breaks down in to come to Michael Breen inside his own 65, coming up the south stand here in front of the substitutes, clearing up. Tracking back well was Bennett. Good play, Stephen Bennett, in to help him, his older brother, Kieran Bennett. Kieran Bennett there to the rescue again. The TQS man sends it down into the corner, into space, but it's all blue and gold jerseys. The intention was right, but unfortunately no blue and white jersey to pick it up. So Tip built from the back. They're coming out with that ball. What can they do? They like to come forward. Rowan Maher, every time he gets a chance, tries to send it in straight. Well, one inside by Bennett. That's super play by the Ballysaga man. 3 brothers on the team. He's the youngest and probably one of the more skillful players on the team. The ball breaks to John O'Dwyer, and Bubbles says thank you very much. Bennett did well to win that ball, probably overcarried, dispossessed. You don't give Bubbles a second chance. Over the wire from Bubbles Dwyer.
Yeah.
Over the bar from Bubbles Dwyer, the All-Star.
Credit to Tip though, just to work right the tracking back. They close down Stephen Bennett, force a turnover, and then once Bubbles Dwyer gets that ball, it's a certain score, certain point.
Liam Sheedy and Liam Cahill look on. at every puck, dropping inside the 65. Waterford win it. Bennett trying to give the ball away. Oh, the intention was right, trying to get Jamie into space, but Jamie now has the ball. He's about 30 metres out. He has options. One of them inside is the chance for Waterford to goal. Take a chance and goal! Austin Gleeson, the finisher. Jamie, the creator. Good interaction as into Jack Prendergast, but the man who finished it, the All-Star, we know what he can do, and so does the Tip goalie now. Buried it in the back of the net. Picked that ball out, goalie.
Exceptional, Kieran. Exceptional pass to play. Started by a brilliant flick from Stephen Bennett, as only Stephen Bennett can. Absolutely superb goal. Superbly worked.
So it's 1-6, that's 9, it's 2-3. We're level for a first time, and it mightn't be the last time. Fergal, ball from the puck out, they go along. Was there a foul? There is, says the referee. Advantage being played. Tip get it back now. Bubbles in space, takes a bullet. Oh, over the bar there. They're testing the Waterford young keeper, but it sizzles over the bar. Tip go back in front. End-to-end stuff, Fergal. We've played 11 and a half minutes. My God, we've seen a lot.
It's absolutely pulsating stuff, Kieran. It's just end-to-end. It's non-stop. It's only been 11 minutes, but what 11 minutes entertainment so far.
Referee, in fairness, Colin Lyons, letting it flow, but he's 30 skillful players on the field. Indeed, we're getting the best of this fabulous game of hurling. Tip win it. Noel McGrath, wearing the green helmet, and wears the yellow as well, but they're going for a one from distance. And that one has gone left and wide there. Again, there's been good pressure by the Waterford defence, left and wide. They're fourth to shoot, but it's 2-4-1-6. Tip still lead by one, Fergal.
Yeah, and a good chance from Jake Morris, and a player of his quality. You'd nearly expect him to put it over, but it let up for Waterford.
So puck out. Waterford win it. Austin comes out wearing 14 and he's back, but he could play literally in any position. In around the danger zone inside. Desi knocks it down. A chance for Waterford inside. Oh, Tip read it very well. Barrett and Cadell read it very well, but Barrett comes out with it in the end. The ball goes way out over the line there. Not the best of passes, but my God, it would have been some goal.
What a ball from Austin Gleeson. As I said to you before the game, Kieran, these are the kind of players you just love watching. The audacity of what Austin tried there to pick out Desi didn't come off in the end, but it was a certain goal chance. And now he's gone over, and his dander is up, his confidence is up. He's a sideline ball, and you know what he's going to try and do when his confidence is high. He's going to try and put this thing over the bar.
He got one last week. Is there one in him today? The Yanks are over Seamus Power. They never saw the like of it. They say need a wedge or a 9-iron or an 8-iron. He's working with it, come on, and he sends it over the bar. He's done it again. Well done, Gleeson. Power and Tom and TQS will be happy with their man that they've inspired so much. He's doing well off the field for them. He's doing well on the field.
Yeah, I don't like him, Kieran, but when you have a player like Austin Gleeson, his confidence is high. Leave him off. That's exceptional.
Would you be trying to stop him as manager?
I don't know.
Okay, we leave it there, Fergal. Ball pucked out. Tip gets it out into the middle. Alan Flynn towards the middle of the field. Michael Breen, the former UCC Fitzgibbon star, sends it over the bar. He's been struggling to get starts over the last couple of years, but he sends it over the bar.
This is just non-stop, Kieran. You can't take your eyes off this thing for literally a second. It's non-stop end-to-end. Super game, Ireland.
2-5, 1-7. Waterford on the attack, cut off again inside. Barrett really on his own inside there and wins that ball, gets the ball away to the experienced Brendan Maher. The Borrisalee man sends it in low. Well run again by Bennett. Reads those balls so well. Comes out with the ball. Dragged to the ground. Well done, Stephen Bennett. I'm sure half of Ballysaggart are up here. If not, they're sitting outside Maher's, I hope, because what a chance for a small club. He's their inspiration. They've 3 Bennetts. What a day for Ballysaggart. What a day for the Bennett brothers. And well done, Stephen.
Yeah,
Shane.
He's playing the number 6 role, that new number 6 role where you sit just beyond the D. He's playing that exceptionally well this last day and again today. He's just able to read a game, and he brings that talent and that little bit of extra to that position, just like Tyg de Burke did before him.
55 metres out for Stephen. 10 points the last day. Is that gone over? 129 up to the last day, but that's a super score. That was a very difficult one because it was out in the middle of the field. He needed to get it. He backed himself. He got it. 2-5-1-8. We're level for a third time. Puck out. Tip goes short again. They're trying to play the ball into that dangerous full forward line. Callan and Morris inside could do a lot of damage. Pulling and dragging inside there. Too much dragging and pulling from a referee's perspective there. Shane McNulty there on a man who needs to be watched. Jake Morris, one of Liam's proteges from the underage structure, winning minor and under 20 medals. And really, as a defender, if you leave the like of them in front of you, Fergal, you're under pressure.
And he had green grass ahead of him, and I suppose McNulty probably had to pull him down a certain free. But the problem, in this, as I say, in the modern game with people like Jason Ford, even though it's a difficult free, he will score, I suspect. But Kieran, what a game of hurling. We've 15 minutes gone before the water break. As good a quarter an hour, our first quarter of hurling, I've seen in a long, long time.
2-5-1-8. We had brilliant served up last week in Thurles. So far, we're getting a repeat dose here. As Ford sends it over the bar. 1-3 for him. They go back in front by a point, but I'm sure Liam Cahill will be overall pretty happy. But 2 goals are killer at any times, and I always reckon a goal to a team is worth more than 3 points. But they've got 2 of them. But Waterford are still in this game and really playing very well. O'Brien this time goes long, dropping into the far right hand corner. City end. Waterford keeping the pressure on. Maher wins it again. That's Ronan, younger brother of the fullback. They've played a lot of games together. Barry Heffernan is outside him, gives it to Barry. Barry likes to come out. People think this man's a slow coach, but my God, give him space. He's a long striding man. He goes for a long one. Oh, it's right and wide. That's why he wears number 4 on his back. You know it well, Fergal. Right and wide. So puck out. Sean O'Brien looking at options. He's trying it right down here in front of us. Oh, into Desi, into his hand. Desi gives it back to Bennett at pace. Oh, coming forward, I felt that one up here. Wasn't a foul, but play on, says the referee. Oh my God, he met it on the shoulder there. Bennett felt that one. Wasn't a possible foul, just as he turned. It was a man-on-man.
Yeah.
Fergal, you'll be proud of that one.
Yeah, no, I think in fairness it wasn't a foul. I mean, Kieran Bennett ran into the traffic. He had a man outside him. Jack Prendergast probably should have popped it out to him, but in fairness, good play, Tip. If that was a free against, I think Tip management and supporters would be incensed if it was. So no, fair shoulder, fair clash.
Brendan Maher, 32-year-old, 3 All-Ireland medals, Boris Ali hero, and of course won that Never Forgotten Munster title for them. Ball from the line-up, breaks down, in to pick it up as always, Peter Hogan. Lovely ball across the Calum lines. Haven't seen much of the Ballyduff lower man, and now he's a bit of green grass in front of him. Turns to his left. Has he pulled it a bit right and wide? That's exactly what he has there. Just shortened the grip, right and wide, turned wide for Waterford. Score remains 2-6-1-8. Tip up by 1.
Yeah, and Callum Lyon's been one of our best players in the last 2 years. He's been very quiet today in this first quarter, first actually possession. Ball
going long again, knocked down. Who's into the breaking ball? It's our Peter Stringer, but he loses it. That's of course Jamie, who leaves it back to Michael Breen. Terrible pass by him into Austin Gleeson in the middle. He's men outside him. One of those men is McNulty. He likes to come forward. The De La Salle man, the Hooper Dola man, going for distance. Has he got it? Yes, he has. Super score. Cathal Lowe might give him the half day on Monday. That's the super score.
Yeah, their number 4, Barry Heffernan, just missed one. Exact same position on the other side of the field. Shane McNulty, our number 4, scored it between the posts. So brilliant start. Brilliant for Shane McNulty. He's the player. Obviously needed to get off to a good start, and that'll do his confidence the world of good, Kieran.
1-9-2-6. I said it earlier, we won't be level for the first time. We're level 4 times to the water break. 2-6, that's 8 scores. 1-9, it's 10 scores. 18 scores
in 17 minutes, Kieran. I mean, it's just been a helter-skelter from the very, very first minute. And I think that's what we can expect from the modern game. I mean, in the past, Kieran, this could be nearly a full-time scoreline if you go back 25 years ago. There was days this would be a full-time scoreline. I mean, the game of hurling has gone so skillful, so fast. Players, I suppose the ball is a part of playing that. But it's literally a score a minute.
We started so well, but then that killer goal, the first goal, really opened this up, and Callan give them half a chance. We said it before the game, we have to keep goals to a minimum. They got one after 5 and set us back, but we came again.
Yeah, we did, and we've been a better team overall in terms of possession, but it matters on the scoreboard. And I think the only thing Liam Cahill won't be happy with so far is that Tipperary for both goals probably were soft. They drifted into space. I mean, Prunty and Callan went up, ball broke, and Prunty fell. Callan, as a full back, you cannot leave that happen. I think that's the only criticism we can have of the team in the first quarter, is that Tip players ghosted into space uncontested, probably on 2 or 3 occasions, and 2 goals resulted from it.
But I must say, in fairness to the lads, we kept that going, but with a few super scores, great teamwork. You mentioned the great underage players we had in 2016. These are really blossoming under Liam Cahill. He's given them their head and they're responding, but again, it's down to keeping those goals to a minimum, and please God, no more green flags.
We've had 3 chances ourselves, and possibly even if you put Ozzy's pass to Desi, which didn't come off, we've had 3 chances. We got one. Ozzy had just wide of the post, and the other one that Stephen Bennett took on. As typical Stephen Bennett, he had a tap over point, but his decision would be no, go for the juggler, and that's why he is Stephen Bennett. Probably he was overturned, and they got a goal down the other end of the field, which is a 6-point swing, a huge turning point, albeit early in the game.
So all to play for. We're all square here. 1-9 Waterford, 2-6 Tipperary. We're into the second quarter. If it's half as good as the first quarter, we're in for rip-roaring. The crowd here under 7,000, but my God, have they enjoyed every minute of it. What noise they're making, particularly the Waterford fans, which is great to see, but they've had plenty to roar about. The puck out, won by Waterford. Jack Fagan way over on the far side, coming towards the 45. De La Salle man on his Stick takes it on the run off the Hurley, right and wide. He'll be disappointed with that. Liam Cahill will be very disappointed with that. There was options inside. He backed himself. Right and wide.
He tried to. It was a difficult execution, to be fair, and he had Patrick Kern off him. It might have been a better option.
Long puck out. They're going long again into the danger zone. Oh, Harvey blow inside. Oh, that was high by Callanan.
I don't think,
the
to be fair to Callan,
yeah,
I don't think, to be fair to Callan, there was intent in it.
I think Shane Bennett was going to pick the ball up, and he was bent low, and I think he just met him around the neck there. Callanan there, the referee might have a word with him. The experienced Callanan, the longest serving player, and made his debut back in 08, and of course would have played against Waterford in the All-Ireland way back in 08, but that's a long time ago. It's all about the present, but let's hope Kieran Bennett is okay, because he took a heavy knock, and as I say, he's not a man just to lie down.
Yeah, and look, as I say, in fairness to both Bennett, he's not a man for going down, but in fairness to Callan as well, that's not his typical type of tackle. I don't think there was intent in it. I don't know, I haven't seen the replay. We'd like to see the replay. Maybe there was, but if you're to judge it on Shamie Callan's past, he's not a man for going in with head-high tackles, to be fair to him. Let's hope just Shane Bennett is okay, because he's a key player. It looked like it was a kind of a head-high thing, a shoulder, he was bending down. It looks like the referee isn't going to do a whole lot about it. I suspect it was accidental.
Possibly free out, but
it's a free out
with the whole HIA, and we're very lucky with our backroom team. Of course, we've Brendan McCann, and of course we've a great physio in Paddy Julian, and great backup team, which is part and parcel of the modern game. But he's up, he's okay, and he's fit to resume, and let's hope that doesn't take a lot out of the Ballysegger days. One of the three brothers, what a huge day for him. The Mumad, of course, Muman, well known in golfing circles, clubhouse manager in Lismore Golf Club. And of course Pat needs no introduction, any involved in Waterford hurling. Buff the puck out, Waterford win it. Jack is going through, he has a chance, shortens the grip, takes his shot over the bar. Jack Fagan, great puck out again by O'Brien. One De La Salle man, two the other. Jack Fagan on the run, sends it over the bar. Waterford go one up.
First 20 minutes, Kieran, Jack Fagan has been massively effective in this game, winning ball, winning puck as target man. Great first 20 minutes by him.
Barry Hogan out into the business end. Ball breaks down, picked up brilliantly by Alan Flynn, shortens the grip, sends it way over to the far side. Is that Paddy Cadell? Yes, it is. Going for a long one. I think he's pulled it to the left. Looks the way O'Brien is looking, and that's where it's gone. Fifth wide for Tip. Waterford still one up. But as you say, Jack Fagan in the groove, struggled a bit during the league. We're back to the Jack Fagan we saw in Croke Park take Kilkenny to the sword last year. Ball from the puck out, goes high and goes long. Covering back, Barry Heffernan. Under a bit of pressure, the Waterford forwards keeping that pressure on. Tip steady it up. Back to Brendan Maher, one of the experienced men with 3 All-Ireland medals, part of the 2010 team 11 years ago, a long time ago. They're spreading the ball across. Paddy loves to come forward. Paddy Cadell off his shoulder. Dan McCormack holds it for Tipperary. Back to Jason Ford on the 65. Bit of overplay. Noel McGrath there wasn't sure what he was doing, but Waterford did, and Jack Prendergast has it. Great play, Jack Prendergast, and away come Waterford. Ball gone inside to Patrick Kern, inside the 45. Aussie's outside him, dragged to the ground there. There's a goal on here. Is the referee going to give a penalty? Yes, it's the back of the net. Back of the net by Desi Hutchinson. Lovely setup. Had he the whistle blown? Did he leave it go on? Desi Hutchinson, we wanted a goal. He got 2 last year. What a brilliant goal by Desi. The ref played the advantage rule. No better man to take the advantage than Desi Hutchinson for
2 exceptional goals by Waterford. 2 exceptional work goals. And you can see that's been worked on in the training ground. That didn't happen by accident. Exceptional play for both goals by Waterford.
What a goal for Waterford there. Desi Hutchinson lights up. And a good score from the puck out there. Jason Ford, what a way to answer a goal. 2-6, 2-10. Make that 2-7. Waterford lead by 3. What a goal by Desi. Well done, Desi. You did it last year here. You're doing it again. Fergal, you know better than most. Give him the right ball, he'll finish for you.
Yeah, but the work there by Jack Prendergast and by Patrick Kern to create that opportunity for Desi is exceptional. As I say, Kieran, that they don't happen by accident. That's been working. That's the Mikey Beavens training that's come into play there. There are 2 goals absolutely out of the top drawer.
Don't like looks like Shane Bennett, is it?
Yeah, it looks like Shane Bennett. I'm hoping it's just a cut and he's coming off for a cut, but I'm hoping it's not going back to his head injury.
Let's hope so. Yeah, that'll be a pity. And he's gone right under, and it looks like Kevin Moran has come on, and see he's that Paul down under us here. Proud day for him. Made his debut way back in 07 when some of these players were only in short pants literally, but Moran is still there. What a man to call on. The 2-time All-Star for Waterford. Waterford 2-10. Tip 2-7. Back to Ozzy. Shortens the grip, but I think he pulled on that one a bit. Didn't steady himself. Left and wide. Easy to call it from up here. 5th wide for Waterford, but we still lead 2-10, 2-7. Tip goes short, trying to build it out to the mid. Noel McGrath, the experienced McGrath, man who came back from a cancer scare a few years ago. Great to see him playing it all. Gives it to Ronan Maher. He likes those long ones, but that one has gone right and wide by the Thurles Sarsfield man. He went for a long one, right and wide. The wind is favouring Tip. Not a huge win, but it's definitely favouring them, Fergal. Short puck out. Ian Kenny for Waterford likes to come forward to Ballygunnerman. Interplay there with Austin Gleeson, come inside his own 65. Caleb Lyons has gone over the shoulder. He copped him. The Tip defence didn't cop him. He shortens the grip, takes his shot over the bar there. Lovely puck out. Austin Gleeson, Caleb Lyons, copybook stuff. Fergal, you'd love to be teaching that to your under 14s at Ballygunner. Copybook.
I mean, Austin Gleeson's like Xavi and Iniesta for Spain. It's just, you know, it's right or over stuff. Some of the balls he's playing brilliant to Callum Lyons there.
4 points up, bubbles the wire, down in the right hand corner. Look for Callan and Prunty there, two big heavyweights in around the square, but the ball beats both and way over to the far right hand corner. Waterford in possession, trying to get that ball out. Who's back? Who else but Jamie? Gives it to Caleb Lyons, standing in his own 20 metre line, sends it down the right hand side. Not the best of balls, very close to the sideline. Has it gone out over? Yes, says the linesman, inside the 45 there. But a big tussle between two big men, Canlan and Prunty, and that ball just got over the two big men, two big tall men. Prunty 6'5", and of course Canlan 6'4". Take your pick. Line ball on the 45. The pace of Waterford and the interplay, we mentioned earlier, the Bennetts, Pat Curran, Peter Hogan, Ozzy, they all played together and under 16. It's really coming to fruition this year. I can see, you can see it.
Yeah, it's almost instinctive, Kieran. They know exactly what to do, when to do it. They know exactly what play to make. It's been,
the manager's leaving it do it. Out comes Prunty, the man with the coffee shop. They all met down there on the Bridge Cafe, supplied of course by the great Ken McGrath and Owen McGrath. So great business transactions between a lot of the GA fraternity, but it's the men from Tipperary win it. Páirc Maher, the experienced Maher, goes long. The man with 6 All-Stars, but it's gone over the bar there. Good score for the Tip man. Ronan Maher gets it over the bar. First score for the younger brother, but Páirc Maher, what a servant he's been. Out to younger brother Ronan, over the bar it goes. 2-11, 2-8, 3 points. Not a great puck out there. Back to help is Peter Hogan. Super play by Hogan. The Ballygunner man shortens the grip down into the corner, looking for it inside. If to the breaking ball, if it'll come Waterford's way, Desi might get his touch, and Fagan is there as well, but the ball squirts out and Tip win it inside their own 45. They go long. Dan McCormick down into the corner. He's looking for Callan, the Bank of Ireland man, against Prunty, the Abbey side man, and Prunty wins it. Full back play at his very, very best. Well done, Conor Prunty, marking the All-Star, the 4-time All-Star. Callan, super play, Fergal. You'd appreciate that as a defender.
Super play, Conor Prunty, and that's what we've come to expect. You know, the best forwards in the game. Conor Prunty, by and large, has been taking them out for the last 2 or 3 years. Just one comment, Kieran. I have to say, we said it before the game. Colm Lyons, as referee, I think is having a stormer. He's leaving the game known. There could have been an extra 10 frees there. And look, it's fair. It's both ways. Some you don't get, some you do get. But I think Colm Lyons is leaving this game run, and he's made it an absolutely fantastic first 25 minutes because he's left the game run. He hasn't blown up for the simple little things that other referees may have done in the past. So well done, Colm Lyons.
And of course Prunty too, for a big man, one of the fastest men in the county squad and club squad as well. So deceptive speed, but a real athlete. And as you say, wing back in the under 20 a few years ago has really developed into a super full back. So play to resume, not quite sure is there.
Yeah, we had possession, so Sean O'Brien is indirect free from our half back line.
Yeah, so it's Sean coming out to take it to De La Salle man, the carton control man. I'm sure Páirc gave him a few insights into playing against Tip. Tip win it well in the backline, no problem for the defence there, but sending out around the middle. Kieran Bennett comes forward and said, I'm going to win that one inside the 45, stands side, opens the grip, takes his shot. Oh my God, a super score by Bennett. We've had some good scores. That's a brilliant one by the Ballysaggart days. The TQS man sends it over the bar. Ozzy got the goal, Kieran got the point.
Kieran, I said before the game there's 8 or 9 points between our midfield and our half back line. I think that's 5 we've got between our half back and our midfield so far. There's 8 to 9 points. Massive asset to any team.
2-8, 2-12, 27 minutes gone. Tip go long, down into the corner. John bubbles the wire. Was he fouled? No, says the referee there. I think Ian Kenny was lucky with that one. They're pulling hard right in front of the Waterford manager, Liam Cahill. Liam Cahill waiting for a free, but the referee gives the free to Tipperary. Cahill isn't happy. Mikey Beavens is up there alongside, and the Toomey Vara man, Tommy Dunn, his clubmate, is down roaring the opposite. But Liam is incensed. What do you think, Fergal?
Yeah, like it was. You could argue it was a free. It was relatively soft in the context of what's been left go before. It probably was one that he should have left go.
In the spirit of what we had seen,
of what we've seen so far, it was nothing dirty in it. But in fairness to Colin Lyons, I say he has left a lot go in a good way, not the bad stuff. He's let a lot of the easy stuff go. He probably should have left go at that go in the context of what he's done just up to now.
Jason Ford, as we mentioned, 11 points the last day, 1-8 against Clare. 2 metres in from the sideline, 45 metres out. No easy free anywhere in Ireland, but he makes no mistake and sends it over the bar. 1-5 for the Silver Mines man, and really brings it back to a 3-point game. Just one goal between the sides. Sean O'Brien taking over from Billy Nolan, who in turn took over from Stephen O'Keefe. Hard to believe from last year. Stephen O'Keefe, Tadhg de Burka, Irla Daly, and of course the long-term injury to Páirc. Ball to the middle there to Kevin there, just steadying on the ball there, a bit slow on that tip, win it back from the sideline. John O'Dwyer, the bubbles is bubbling high today, standing on the line. Super score by O'Dwyer there. Kevin just got caught in possession, over the bar it goes.
Yeah, just give him half a chance. He's an artist, Kieran. He's an absolute hurling artist. Give him half a chance. Best wrist probably I've ever seen in hurling. Super score, Bubbles O'Dwyer.
2-12, 2-10. Dwyer, of course, former All-Star, would love to get another one before he calls time on his illustrious career. Tip have it now inside the 45, really struggling to get clean possession. Fair play to the Waterford players, Jamie and Shane, Stephen Bennett and them helping him to try and make it awkward for him, but Alan Flynn gets it, pasted up for Clare, gets the ball up. Dan McCormick inside his own 45, wearing 12 over on the far end. Oh, it's gone to the far end, far corner. Shane McNulty comes across from the right to the left, gets it out to the right half to Caleb Lyons. He'll probably have a go, and that's exactly what he does. Down the line, lose possession. Jake Morris has it over on the far side. One of the under 20 stars in to take it is Ian Kenny. Good play by Kenny. Gets the ball to Caleb on the 65. Standing on the sideline. Opens the shoulders. I think it's going to go left and wide. That's exactly where it's gone. Left and wide. Wide number 6. 2-10, 2-12. We lead by 2.
Yeah, Kieran, a little bit of a shout out for Ian Kenny. He's a player who doesn't get a lot of credit. He's had a superb first half. He's pretty much snuffed out. You know, he's been on Jake Morris, he's been on Bubbles O'Dwyer, he's been dragged right out the field. He's had an exceptional first half of hurling. He's a player who doesn't get a lot of credit. Shane Bennett, delighted to see him back on. So obviously it was probably a little cut, but he's back on the field of play. Huge.
Good round of applause by the huge Waterford support here, watching every moment. Tip tried to work it out from the back. Cathal Barrett is trying to clean it up. There's a bit of overplay. Paddy Cadell is back to help as well. Instead they get it out towards the middle. Noel McGrath coming very deep. Very experienced player. Legs a lovely ball into Callan and Prunty. Prunty gets the better of that one again. Super play by Prunty. He bursts out with it, the Abbey sideman. Austin Flynn did it in the 50s and 60s. Prunty is doing it in the noughties. Ball, Kieran Bennett inside the 45. Steadies himself, comes forward, backs himself, looks at options. That's not the best option, but is it? When you get the ball to Desi, it's always the best option. Desi steadies it up. He's gone inside the 45, shortens the grip, takes his shot. Skill personified. Kieran Bennett did the dirty work, but the man who did the class finishing, Desi Hutchinson. We know he can do it, Fergal. Super score.
Wow, on Cathal Barrett, seen as one of the best cornerbacks in the country, and just turns him inside out. Super, Desi.
2-10, 2-13. Ball from the puck out. Prunty bursts out again. Great play by Prunty. The CIT student, the Radley engineering man, the coffee man, the Bridge coffee. He's the whole piece and captain at such a young age. Ball at the other end, plucked out of the air. Barrett there, disappointed at that last score. Gets it out to Dan McCormick for Tip. In the middle of the field, down into the corner it goes. Tip going to try and take on the Waterford defence there. Jake Morris didn't get it on the first time. The man who does is McNulty, doing very well. Turns to his left. Great to have it, two-sided hurlers, as all the inter-county players are today. Keeping pressure is Jack Fagan there. Jack just couldn't hold on to it, and the John Kelly Opal man leaves it out over the line. Line ball, but great play, defensive play by McNulty.
Wow, helter-skelter, just 30 minutes of helter-skelter. Kieran, if you're to do a YouTube video on full-back play the first half of this game, it's been the best performance of full-back play I've seen since Brian Nolan back in the 90s. It's been exceptional. Conor Prunty is textbook of what you're looking for a full-back these days.
Big statement. Line ball, taken poorly. Waterford win it. Stephen Bennett works the ball back and we'd go along there. That was in hope more than anything else. Not quite sure what Kieran was hoping to do with that one, but in the end, no problem for the Tip defence. They're working it out slowly, out towards the middle. Noel McGrath there, works the ball off. Páirc Maher coming forward. The full-back, the 6-time All-Star, going for a long one. It's gone left and wide. The shout you hear, I'd say, are for the Waterford support. It's left and wide, 2-13.
Tip's Achilles heel in this first half has been their long-range shooting. I think that's 5-6 wides that they've had from probably positions that you'd expect players of their quality to put the ball over the bar from.
But it shows you they can't break down the defence. They have to go long because the Waterford defence really standing up so well. Tip win possession from the puck out. They're going long. A chance for Noel. It's gone right and wide. Noel McGrath, very untypical of McGrath, one of the experienced players. He's 30 years of age. His dad Pat played in 89. Of course, he's John and his other brother Brian to come on as well if needed. It's 2-13, 2-10. We lead by 3. Important we keep it going to the half-time break. Long puck out again from O'Brien, drop inside the 45. Oh, brilliantly caught. Austin Gleeson soared into the skies, standing on the sideline, again shortens the grip. Oh, left and wide. Pity the finish didn't match the catch. What a catch by Austin Gleeson. Pure magic there, like Darragh O'Shea in his head for Kerry.
Yeah, we've 2 target men there now, and for long puckouts, Austin Gleeson and Jack Fagan, and we're winning more than our fair share of long puckouts.
In fairness, Sean O'Brien must be credited. Great puckouts, found Ozzy. Unfortunately, the finish wasn't as good as the catch, but great play all round. Tip win it. Bubbles the wire inside the 45. He's got him from these awkward angles before, and he's got another one. Number 4 for Bubbles. People question, had we seen the end of Bubbles? No, you haven't. He's only 29. He's an all-star winner, and that's an all-star score.
Fitness is always the question with Bubbles O'Dwyer. Skill has never been the question. He's an exceptional hurler. 2
points. Waterford lead. Jack Prendergast holding the play up, trying to work it through. Jamie is involved. The ball comes back. Peter Hogan on the run, takes his shot. He's happy with it, and so is the umpire.
Wow.
Super score, Peter Hogan. Lovely bit of interplay. Hogan delivers over the bar.
We can't describe that in the radio, Kieran, what Austin Gleeson just did. You have to see that for your own eyes or on television. Absolutely rider over stuff from Austin Gleeson.
So Tip going short again. Noel McGrath tracking way back, and they're trying to work it down into the corner. Morris and Callan are the target men inside. Morris now, one of the under 20 stars. What's he going to do with that? Works the ball back towards the middle of the field. A chance for Tipperary for Jason Ford. He's on fire. 1-6 for the Silver Mines man. He's done the damage. He's kept that scoreboard ticking over. We're back to a 2-point game. 2-14, 2-12.
You'd be tired looking at this. This is absolutely an incredible game of hurling. This is as good a first half of hurling I've seen in a long, long time, Kieran.
30 scores, 35 minutes. Where would you get it? You can have your European Championships any day, or the lines down under. This is where it all matters. These are the lines. These are the Tigers. The ears of the man. Doing it for the jersey. Doing it for their parish. Doing it for their club. Doing it for their county. Away come Tipperary. They're going short. Ronan Maher. Lovely ball across towards the centre. Brendan Maher. No relation, but 2 skillful all-stars. Back to Noel McGrath, playing very deep. Down into the corner it goes. A chance inside there for Michael Breen. Doesn't control it. Well run inside by Bennett. Tries to come out with the ball. Scoops the ball out to Peter Hogan. Dare to take it up. Lovely bit of interplay there. Gets the ball across. Prunty coming forward. He gives it to Calum Lyons. Inside the Waterford 65. Down into the corner. It's Desi against 2 defenders. First touch Desi. He gets the ball. What's he going to do? Coming near the sideline. Over the shoulder. Have a look. Take that shot. Oh, still in play. I thought it was just gone right and wide. Still in play. Hogan did well to hold it up. Lovely bit of interplay, but unfortunately just held up and stayed short. Bennett from the puck out. That's Shane, wearing number 33. Works the ball away over to the far side. Coming forward is Austin Gleeson, but he goes for distance. Cahill just shakes his head. It's right and wide. Wide number 8. 2-14, 2-12. 36 minutes.
Yeah, hard to be critical of Austin, though. He was right to have a shot in his form. On when he's on form, they're the ones you want him to take on. Just in this situation, it went wide.
So Tip again building from the back. Ronan Maher, the all-star, the Garda, has the ball. The number 7 shortens the grip. He's got a few good ones in the past, and he's got another one. Second score for the wing back. Oh, was it wide? Is there a bit of confusion there?
Yeah, not sure, Kieran. I thought it was a point, but it looks like...
I thought it was 2.
Have we got Hawkeye here? I'm not sure. Do we have Hawkeye?
Don't think so.
Right, there's a question mark over for sure.
Our referee here on sound there, Gavin, is shaking his head there. It's over the bar. It's over the bar. Not good from a Waterford perspective. There was doubts about that point, but obviously from here we thought it was over. A bit of doubt with the umpires, but in the end it's over the bar. Back to a 1-point game. 37 minutes gone as we approach the half-time whistle. Epic first half here. Tip now building from the back. Brendan Maher, the Boris Salim man, steadies himself. What's he going to do with it? Works it out to the middle. Jason Ford. Good block down there by Waterford there. Oh, referee.
It's not the time to blow. Jamie was just about to pull the trigger for a point. Look, maybe he had his mind made up. There's only 2 minutes. But look, I thought Jamie was just about to pull the trigger.
Jamie just had it. You'd have left the last play and if it went wide or whatever. But the crowd are standing in their feet. We've seen Olympic here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. We've 35 minutes to go. Waterford lead by 1. Will we be leading by 1 or more at the final whistle? Don't go away. Join us for first half analysis and all the action of that second half after the break.
The Big Match on WLR.
With George Corbett Skoda.
During the pandemic, when many of us stood still, our clubs and communities stood by us. Community is at the heart of GSK Dungarvan, and they want you to nominate your local club or community group for the chance to win €3,000. To nominate your registered club or community group, see WLRFM.com/clubbing in and fill out the application form.
Clubbing in on WLR. In association with GSK Dungarvan. Proud to support the local community.
You know the Skoda Kodiaq? Now meet the Kamiq. It can fit a starting team of NBA players, a 4-ball and a caddy, a quartet and their conductor, or the front 5 in a scrum. How much space do you need? The Kamiq has all the benefits of the Kodiaq, the tech, the style, and the SUV feel. Because at Skoda, we put big thinking into each of our cars. So you see, the Kamiq is not small. It's just smaller. The new Skoda Kamiq. For more information, contact George Corbett Motors, Cork Road, Waterford.
At Curry's PC World, we won't be beaten on price. We promise to match or beat the price you'd pay at our competitors. So if you see the same item cheaper elsewhere, we'll refund you the difference up to 7 days after you've bought from us. Shop with confidence in store at Curry's PC World, Waterford Retail Park today. See currys.ie for full T's and C's.
Well, Kieran, any inspired plans for the bank holiday?
Succulent, inspired by sausages, sizzling in heavenly harmony with slow-cured rashers, some ripe green avocado and fresh orange juice on the side.
Pick up any 3 for €6 from the award-winning Inspired by Centra breakfast deal this week. Centra. Live every day.
Thinking of a summer getaway? It's time to visit friends, family and the places you love. It's time to jump in the car, turn up the tunes and pack what you want without worrying about baggage charges. And it's time we welcome you on board where everything is just right. Or as we say in Sweden, lagom. Let us take care of the big little things that make every sailing spacious, stylish and safe. Get away to Britain or Europe from only €139 one way for a car and driver. Book today at stanaline.ie.
Team up with Virgin Media, George's Street, Waterford. Home of Ireland's fastest broadband network.
Sponsors of the sports news on WLR.
A very good afternoon from the sports desk, starting with Gaelic games, and it's been a thriller so far at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Waterford lead at half-time 2-14 to 2-13 against Tipperary. Seamus Callanan has pitched in with 2 goals for the Premier, but Austin Gleeson and Desi Hutchinson have 1-2 apiece for the Daisha. John O'Dwyer has also scored 4 points, with 10 different scores for Waterford so far. You can join us for the second half soon on WLRFM. Moving to the Olympic golf, and Shane Lowry and Rory McIlroy are in medal contention ahead of tomorrow's final round. McIlroy's 4 under par round of 67 today has seen him move to 11 under par and within 3 shots of the leader, America's Xander Schauffele. Former Open champion Shane Lowry sits inside the top 10 at 10 under par. Tucamogie and Waterford are gearing up for their clash with Cork this evening. The Daisha qualified for the All-Ireland quarter-finals last week, and manager Derek Lyons hopes that they can put it up to the Lee-siders.
It's about a performance and it's about learnings and see where we can tweak things to be better again when it comes to the quarter-final game. That's the crucial game here, like the quarter-final game. It was always about that quarter-final game and see can we do something that hasn't been done with the girls for a previous number of years, and that's what we were building from the start of the year. We're in that situation now, and whatever we can take out of this Cork game, if it comes with a victory, great. If it doesn't, it must come with learnings and improvements that we can bring to the quarter-final game.
2 Olympic hockey in Ireland have lost to Great Britain in their final Pool A game in the women's hockey. Sean Dancer's side needed a victory to qualify for the quarter-finals. Having smashed the national record yesterday, the Irish 4x400 metres mixed relay team finished 7th in the final. Earlier, Sarah Lavin and Mark English failed to progress from their heats. Robert Dixon and Sean Waddle have narrowly missed out on the medal race in sailing's 49er event after placing 13th overall after 12 races, while the Ireland eventing team sit 14th after the dressage. To GAA, and this evening's second quarter-final sees Cork go up against Dublin at Semple Stadium from 7pm. Conor Cahalane has been restored to the Rebels' attack at the expense of Alan Cadigan. Monaghan will be looking to win their first Ulster senior football title in 6 years this afternoon. The Farney men go up against 15-time winners Tyrone at Croke Park at 4pm. It's the first time Croke Park has hosted the Ulster decider since 2006. There's a quarter past 5 start in Portlaoise for the meeting of Cork and Offaly in the semi-finals of the Under-20 Football Championship. To rugby, and the Lions look to secure a Test Series win against South Africa later. A second-half comeback win in Cape Town last Saturday has the tourists 1-0 up. Conor Murray, Robbie Henshaw, Jack Conan and Tyg Furlong all start for the Lions in the 5pm kick-off. After a week of discussion about refereeing decisions last week, former Lion Tommy Bowe thinks the officials will be under the spotlight.
The focus is going to be 100% on the referees. And with the physicality that we're expecting from both sides, I would not be surprised if it comes down to a yellow or a red card at some stage in this match, because both teams are fully fired up for it.
To soccer, and there's one game this evening in the Airtricity League Premier Division. Basement side Longford Town host Derry City at 7:30. Victory for the visitors would see them leapfrog Dundalk into 6th place. The Scottish Premiership has returned this afternoon. Old Firm side Celtic start at Hearts at 8pm this evening. And finally to racing, there's an 8-race card at the Galway Festival this afternoon. Sports news on WLR is thanks to Virgin Media Waterford.
The big match on WLR.
With George Corbett Skoda.
Thanks.
Bubbles is on fire.
Yes, welcome back here to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Buzz around the stadium. I've never seen anything like it. 2:14 to 2:13. Where would you get it? Just to get a neutral view from Cork's 96 FM before he heads off the Turtles. Finbar McCarthy, have you ever seen a half like this?
Oh, it's a fantastic game of hurling. We were just chatting amongst ourselves there. I know he's a fellow Corkman of mine, but the referee Cullum's Lions is playing an integral part in the match. 4 frees. I think there's only about 3 scores from frees on one sideline cut. He's been very good, but credit to both teams. Waterford had 2 goal chances, missed them, conceded 2, but the head didn't go down. They came back up the field. They've got some qualities on both sides, but I think Waterford scoring has been that better in my own. I think they're getting better scores. So the point there from the pass there, the hand pass from Austin Gleeson. Oh, it's a fantastic game of hurling.
Tomas McCarthy, last week against Galway, we were saying, could we repeat that? My God, have we repeated it in spades?
Absolutely, Kieran. It's just been breathtaking stuff from start to finish in that first half. Waterford already at half time have 10 scorers. Great spread. 2-13 from play. Stephen Bennett has only got 1 free so far. As Finbar mentioned, only 4 frees and a half. It's absolutely end-to-end stuff. You could argue that maybe Waterford should be further ahead. They were 4 points up, I think, at one stage. Could have driven on a bit more. Had a couple of poor wides there in the second quarter. But all in all, Liam Cahill has to be happy with what he's seen from his team. Probably apart from those 2 soft goals in the first 7 minutes.
McDonagh, you said to me during the week several times, goals are going to be the key. Tip have got the 2 goals, but we bounced back from that.
Absolutely, that's a bonus. But 37 minutes, 31 scores, 4 frees, 1 referee. What a whale of a game! Brilliant stuff. And a few mistakes here and there, but that adds to the occasion. We can't expect perfection, but that's absolutely wonderful. The first 18 minutes, the first quarter, we saw 18 scores, score per minute. Unbelievable stuff altogether.
Tomas McCarthy, we know what some of these younger guys can do. We saw him in the under-21 in 2016. The Bennett brothers, Patrick Curran, Peter Hogan, Austin Gleeson. This year, I think we're seeing that come to fruition.
Yeah, and I think the last 2 games, Kieran, we've seen the real Waterford. We didn't see him turn up against Clare. They were below par against Laois, but they're really flowing. Their hurling is so sharp. They're running off the shoulder. But after all the hurling they've done, Kieran, there's still only a point in it, and those tip forwards are so dangerous inside.
Goals win matches. Tip can get goals. Obviously, they'll be targeting goals again for the second half.
Well, both sides will be, but certainly it is anyone's game. I think Waterford's hurling is a bit sharper, and even though they had a fierce, tough match last week, that might have brought them on a bit. Tipperary haven't played since the Munster final here a couple of weeks ago, when they actually fell apart in the second half, and that might be playing on their minds a bit for the second half. Will they have the sharpness that Waterford have built up? Even though, as Tomas said, they were poor against Laois, it was a match they were always going to win, and maybe that subconsciously that was in their mind. But they're very, very sharp there. The hurling is very good. I like their passing. It is very sharp and accurate. And 10 scorers, that's a lot of scorers.
The winners today in this game, will they be playing Cork or Dublin? as you head off to Thurles?
Cork.
Finbar, listen, best of luck. Thanks for coming down.
Take care, lads. No problem.
We might see you at the final with Tomas McCarthy. As a spectacle, the hurling, the quality, the skill, the passing. If you wanted a textbook 35 minutes to show young lads in the development squads, this is the 35 minutes.
It's like kind of old school Munster Championship we used to have in the old Páirc Uí Chaoimh here, but played in the new style, you could say, of hurling. But it's been breathtaking stuff, and I think McDermott has just mentioned it there. The subs are going to play a big impact, and Waterford have plenty of pace and runners off the bench. I think we'll see Darragh Lyons, I think we'll see Neil Montgomery, I think we'll see Michael Kiley, and they'll just add what we've seen in the first half. But no, Austin Gleeson is really pulling the strings, Kieran. I mean, the lovely reverse pass to Peter Hogan, the lovely flick pass over to Calum Lyons on the other side. He's really pulling the strings, I think, in that forward line in the first half.
McDermott, as regards the Waterford team as such, when you look at 2 goals by the tip full forward, Conor Prunty has had a good first half.
Excellent, just got caught in that high ball, and the 2 tip goals came from high balls in, and I don't for the life of me know, if it works, why not continue with it? They haven't really sent in many more high balls in. Now Waterford have got their act together back to a certain extent, but there have been a few one-on-one possibilities with Seamus Callan, and because if they put it out to the side, Conor is cleaning them. But the ones that why don't they go with a direct high ball and have them? What I like today, what I see about Waterford is, whereas there's a chance for a goal, they're going for the goal. Ozzy was fierce unlucky. They worked it brilliantly, and just about a foot to the left of the post before the tip first goal. So, look, things are going well, but as Tomas said, and we were saying it here, subs are going to be very important.
What do we have to do to win this game? If you're Liam Cahill, what are you saying to the lads? More the same, or do you think that it is going to be the subs to get us over the line to win today?
I think more the same, to be quite honest with you. You know, they seem to have steadied, and if I'd go as far as saying if Waterford can keep Tip from scoring another goal, I think they're there.
McDarragh, as always, thanks to you. Tomas, you're fine.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with McDarragh, and in fairness to that Waterford full back line of Conor Prunty, Shane McNulty, Ian Kenny, they've really settled after an iffy start. I mean, Conor Prunty won 4 balls in a row against Seamus Callan towards the end of that first half. That's very, very encouraging. As McDarragh mentioned, if Waterford can keep Tipperary goalless, I think they'll be through to semi-final back to Croke Park, Aaron.
Let's hope so. We'll have a quick word with Tomas at full time. Of course, Tomas, you can catch it all on the News and Star. McDarragh with the leader, of course, Radio the Gwilton. Fergal, have you had a chance to get your breath there?
Kieran, listen, this is like, you know, I think people, and including myself, would have questioned whether the modern game has the same level of excitement. Not the skill. We always knew the skill levels, fitness levels, strength levels, speed levels, power levels, everything are moving on as every year passes. But for me, the noughties probably was the most entertaining era for hurling, and I was one of the ones questioning maybe, you know, this tactical game, does it bring the same level of excitement, and even the number of scores, does it bring the same level of excitement as maybe we got back in the noughties, those brilliant All-Ireland finals in Kilkenny and Tipperary and so on. Some of the best games I've ever seen. But you watch that first half of hurling there, Kieran, and you know, doubters maybe like myself have got their answer. That has been an absolutely exceptional, in every sense, in terms of skill, but in terms of entertainment value and excitement, you can't get better than this, Kieran. You just can't get better.
2 young Waterford supporters here. Bertha Fardy from Kilmacow, Kilkenny, young lady, but wearing the Waterford jersey with pride here this afternoon. Also, of course, Fiona O'Connor from Galway wearing the Waterford jersey as the Waterford team come out. Fergal, more of the same, or do you feel that we'll play a more defensive role, or do you think Cahill will say keep going what you're at and we have the legs to come on then in the second half?
For me, it's more the same, but we're going to need an injection of new legs, and that's where the bench is going to come into play. The game, the high octane game that Waterford play, is hard to sustain for 70, 77 minutes. You might even argue sometimes in the modern game we might go to 80 minutes in terms of the extra times and the injury times and whatnot, but they need to sustain that, and that's where the likes of Darragh Lyons, the likes of Michael Kiley, the likes of Neil Montgomery can come in, give that fresh injection. And if we can do that, if we can use our bench, which we will, you know, and keep doing what we're doing, you know, you're hoping that we'll get over the line. The breeze, just small point, is going to be favouring Waterford in the second half, and it has picked up. I mean, it's getting a little bit chillier
and now
here.
The rain has come.
And now the rain is coming, yeah.
Rain, and this is going to make it miserable. It's going to be slippy ground, and if anything, it'll probably suit Tipperary. It won't suit that fast-moving interplay game, short game that Waterford hadn't so brilliantly in the first half, in my view.
Absolutely, and the 4 goals tell a little bit of that story. They were just long, direct, picking up off scraps. Ours was they're two exceptionally worked goals, Kieran. I can't wait to see them back on the television, maybe tonight or tomorrow night. They're two exceptionally worked goals in terms of the passing and the interplay and the movement and the support, and those kind of goals and those kind of scores are going to be harder in difficult conditions than the Route 1 goals that Tipperary got. So we have to make sure we don't concede any more of those Route 1s, but I think Conor Prunty has got to handle that. I don't quite agree with McDara. He's saying go Route 1 on top of Callan and Prunty because Prunty's going to win the foot race, but I think Prunty's going to win the aerial battle as well. Fingers crossed he will.
Now, as regards the pitch here, I was down it earlier, and been on it several times. It's very hard to slippy, and rain like this here, it isn't your natural grass, it's synthetic in a mix with natural grass. The ball will really skid along, so skill is going to be crucial, and hopefully the Waterford will have the skill, along with the tip men, of course, who have all-stars coming out of their back pockets. Some of them are experienced.
Both teams have exceptional skills, so you couldn't maybe suggest that it's going to favour one over the other. I'm looking down here, Liam Cahill is a bit incensed. We're out in the field for the last probably 2, maybe 3 minutes, and Tipper still in the dressing room. Is that a bit of gamesmanship? I think Liam Cahill certainly thinks it is, and he's not happy, and he's calling the referee's attention to it. Of course,
best of luck tonight to our Camogie team. Derek's ladies taking on Cork in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. They're already qualified, but good wins over Dublin down. Best of luck to Derek, and of course Shabelle Harney took up a cruciate injury last weekend. Brilliant against Down. Best wishes to her from all in Waterford G. And of course best of luck to Kieran O'Connor, the lady footballers, tomorrow against Cork as well. We're waiting for tip. Waterford are out of it. Gamesmanship from Sheedy against his old mate Liam Cahill.
Yeah, and you can see on the sideline in the first half, Cahill and Sheedy were, I think they were exchanging a few pleasantries, and it didn't look like there was a whole lot of love lost between them. And I think knowing Liam Cahill, there's fire in Liam Cahill. I think he's a little bit incensed by this, because it is gamesmanship on the part of Tipperary. There's regulation time, they're gone well over it. But look, hopefully in the bigger scheme of things, it won't make too much of a difference to the outcome.
Let the hurling do the talking. 35 minutes to go. Who's going to make it through to Croke Park and to a semi-final here on the banks of the Lee? Ronan Maher gives the ball out to Michael Breen. Lovely ball to Canlan himself from Prunty. What a tussle in the first half. Ball goes through to Waterford keeper down their left. It's the City end, opening up the shoulders. It's Sean O'Brien. He goes long down into the left hand corner, covering across. Páirc Maher, the experienced Maher, 32 years of age. The Garda, the experienced man, gets it out towards the middle of the field. Breen has it. Did he overcarry? Yes, says the referee. What's that for? A foul on the Waterford coming out with that ball, and or on the tip man coming out, and it's going to be free for Tipperary.
Yes, Ozzy adjudged to have shouldered in the back of, I'm not sure which player it was, but adjudged to have shouldered in the back. We gave compliments to Colin Ryan in the first half, and fully deserved. 4 frees in the first half. We're having our first free after 47 seconds in the second.
So the free is about 50 metres out, way over on the far side. The north stand, as it's called, the old open top stand, open cover, as Jason Ford. Has he the distance? Has he the direction? Is it going to go over? No, it's gone left and wide. First wide of the afternoon, wide number 8 for Tipperary. Score remains 2-14, 2-13. Waterford lead by 1. The George Corbett Skoda big match. We're live from Páirc Uí Chaoimh here with Fergal Hartley and Kieran O'Connor. Ball breaks down, well won by Peter Hogan. Loses possession there. Win the back is Jack Prendergast there onto the breaking ball in these greasy conditions. The rain was there. Patrick Curran did very well to win that ball. Tried to offload it in behind it. Standing over a few players is Jack Prendergast. Back to Curran. They're playing inside in the phone box, but they're managing to hold on to play. Curran, good play by the Dungarvan, but gives it straight to a tipman. This could be very dangerous. Ball gone inside. Prunty gets a diving tackle. Super play by Prunty. That could have been very dangerous. Caleb Lyons comes out to it inside his own 65. Gets it to Jack Prendergast down into the corner. What can we do with this inside? It's the danger man. It's Desi. It's number 13 off his shoulder. Gleeson, is he going to pull the trigger? He sends it over the bar there. Desi short for it. Desi got it. Lovely bit of 1-2. Who better to finish than Ozzy? Great score. Great play, Desi. Great finish, Ozzy.
Yeah, and it's back to our game, which is that support run. Ozzy coming through like a train off the shoulder for Desi. Great score. Great work by interplay between Desi and Ozzy.
2:15-13. I see Roger Casey down there. Well done to Captain Quinn Logistics, Thomas and Ann for all their help with the equipment van. But the ball is near the sideline. Hard tackle again by Austin Gleeson. Ken McGrath style. He met Ken for the coffee yesterday and a few tips. And definitely it's bounced off him today as Tip get that free there, free from where they hit the ball there, hard tackle there. But in fairness to Ozzy, he looked shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, and look, technically you could say it was a free, but in the context of this game, and we all gave compliments to Colin Lyons, he's a superb first half, he let it run, probably could have let that one run again. Okay, technically it was a free, but they have been left run all game.
Looks like somebody was talking to at half time,
already
he must have been called aside. But great entertainment in the first half, and okay, letter of the law, it is a free and it's inside their own 65. Metre in from their own 65. Ronan Maher, well capable of putting it over. He gives it everything. It's going to drop right and wide. Wide number 9 for Tip. Score remains 2-15, 2-13. Waterford lead by 2. And well done to all in Club Dacia. They got over 1,000 members. Well done to Newell and John, to Rose, and of course Donny, and the two Toms, Cochrane and Shannon, for all their great work and all involved. Ball from the puck out inside the 45. It's Noel McGrath steadying himself. That's his own 45. They try to give it across. Oh, Caleb Lyons read that brilliantly. Good play by Caleb. Good interception. Works the ball back. A chance here for Peter Hogan. Over the bar it goes. Caleb Lyons, the creator and the finisher. Peter Hogan. Lovely strike. Middle of the field. Over the bar. Second score for the Ballygunner man.
Yeah, and he's had another exceptional game today, Kieran. Delighted for him to back up last week's performance with this week's win again.
Ball from the puck out again, dropping near the Waterford half back line. Dan McCormack on his knees. That's the Waterford 45. Metre in from the sideline. Play on, says the referee. Ian Kenny's trying to scoop that ball, but not coming up in these greasy conditions. He gets it on the third attempt. Good play, Kenny. Held on to that ball. Waterford have it. Kieran Bennett bursting forward, the TQS man, drop shot under a bit of pressure near the sideline. Liam Sheedy's almost going in, and to take that ball himself out over the line. Who's the last to touch it? He says it was a Waterford man. Bennett did everything there, down on his crouch, put his body on the line, but in the end out over the line. Line ball on the 65. Players giving it everything for it.
Players giving it absolutely everything, Kieran. It's just, we've used the word helter-skelter before, but it's absolutely non-stop. And look, Kieran Bennett probably had the opportunity to get that one down the field. Probably would have been the better decision. Took it into the contact, got held up and turned over a sideline ball for Ronan Maher.
Ronan Maher, Thurles Arceus man, two-time All-Star. He'll go for it. It's turning a bit right. Has he got the direction? Callan is inside of it, dropped there. Oh, Prunty gets the touch, but the touch is into a danger, man. It's right into pumps the wire, scoops it across. Oh, well saved by, super play by John O'Dwyer. But I must say Prunty did very well in difficult surfaces. Ball broke, Dwyer didn't get a good touch on it, but O'Brien was up to it, and away come Waterford, way over on the far side. Shane Bennett treads the ball through to brother Stephen on the sideline, standing on the sideline. There's lime in his boots, but that didn't interfere. Literally on the sideline, class personified. Bennett to Bennett, and Stephen does the business.
Yeah, Stephen's been a little bit quiet today by his own standards, and hopefully that's the move, the score that'll spark Stephen Bennett into life for the second half.
Michael Kiley warms up down under us. 2-17, 2-13, 4 points between the side. Tip come roaring back way over on that far side. They have a substitute on. It looks like Seamus Kennedy has come on for the Tip man. Didn't see that, but we'll follow the play. Bennett tries to win it back inside the Tip 45. Ball squirts away. In comes Michael Breen. Always great to pick up those dodgy balls. The former UCC star sends it down into the attack. They're looking inside for Callan. Ball breaks down. Jamie slips. Back to pick it up is Prunty. Oh, he slips and he loses the ball, but he gets it back on the second attempt. He loses it again. This is unbelievable. Pulled to the ground is Alan Flynn. Could this be a yellow card because he was turning on goal, and I think Colin Lyons might call Prunty across, but unfortunately, but it just shows you the conditions they're playing over. Really slippy. It's like a bar of soap, and I think the name of Prunty might see a yellow card, or is he just ticking the box?
Yeah, I thought it was McNulty, but he's lucky there because it looks like the helmet was pulled, and technically that could have been worse from a Waterford perspective from what we see here. But you're right, Kieran. Jamie Barnes slipped, Conor Prunty slipped, and it's a sign of the change in conditions which are going to be challenging for the second half for all these players.
2-17-13, that squally shower seems to have passed over. It was left the pitch very, very greasy as Jason Ford makes no mistake. He tips it over the bar. We're back to a 3-point game, 2-17, 2-14. The flags down the Black Arc end, they're blowing, they're favouring Waterford, and the blue and white flags around the stands seem to be outnumbering the Tip, but the volume definitely coming from the Waterford supporters. But in fairness, they've had a lot more to cheer about for a lot of this game, but it's a long, long way to go. Going high is Gleeson, loses the ball. Brendan Maher gets the ball back to Páirc Maher. Maher goes long, dropping aside the 45, ball breaking. Prunty and Callan there. Prunty went, oh my God, super play by Prunty there. He backed himself, he wins that ball. Waterford now on the attack. Can they just steady it up? Kieran Bennett, did he turn? Did he overplay it? No, says the referee, brilliant. Over the bar. What an interception by Prunty. Backed himself, used his pace, give him to his wing back. Bennett over the bar. Super score. Well done, Prunty. Great finish, Kieran Bennett. Michael Kiley warms up down under. Hughes Dave for the young Abbey side man, youngest man on the squad, as Stephen Bennett takes it up, going to the 45, getting the ball on to younger brother Shane. Don't follow him now, Shane, as he goes to approach Páirc Maher, the experienced Maher, young Bennett there, but Bennett just holds him by the hand, free out on relief for the tipman.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic mistake from Stephen Bennett to Shane Bennett. Overhit the hand pass, or overweighted it, and yeah, we look like we've Michael Kiley going to come on now, Kieran. So I suspect it's possibly for Patrick Hearn.
Big day for the Kiley family of Ballynacorty, and of course Mum Dolores. Grandad Michael did it playing Abbey sides. He's looking down. He'd be thrilled to see this young protege coming on as the ball goes to Rowan Maher. He's going for distance. It looks a good one. Has he pulled it left? That's exactly where it's gone. Left and wide number 10. We'll soon see Michael Kiley come on.
Yeah, Kieran, I think if you're Liam Cahill and the tips, stats team and so on, their long range shooting has been so far off today. I think it's their Achilles heel. I think if I was them, I'd be saying get that ball into our forward line, because that's possibly the guts of 10 wides now from out the field, from out distance. So Jake Morris coming off, yeah?
Jake Morris, yeah, that's a surprise, but didn't get into a part of Sheedy's great minor 20 team. He's called ashore.
Mark Keogh is on for him.
And Patrick Curran being replaced has really played his part. Did a lot of donkey work in the first half, but it's time for fresh legs. The first of them to come on is young Michael Kiley. Great round of applause for Patrick there. Got a brilliant score in the first half, worked his socks off, and Sheedy just says well done, give him the applaud.
10 minutes
it's
in
a 20-man game now.
Yeah, 10 minutes in first change. I think we're going to see Darrell Lyons in the next 10 minutes as well.
Bring on the finishers, they say. Mark Keogh was on for the tipman. He's done it before for them when with UCC and the Fitzgibbon and in under 21. He's an experienced camper here at the far end of the field. Michael Kiley in bit of pressure there from Seamus Kennedy. Coming through now is Kiley in space, hitting into the town end. What's he going to do? Oh, chance for goal, good chance for Waterford. What can we do? Oh my God, it just lost his hurley. Try and boot it into the net. Mount Sion not known for their was the hurley, but yes, it's a penalty. Ozzy had it, he was through. The man just pulled him down. It had to be a free. Pull the hurley as well. You need your hurley. The tipman took the hurley. It's a penalty.
I think that's a good call, and we haven't seen it in the replay. We haven't got the benefit of the screen here, Kieran. But from what I saw, Ozzy didn't drop that hurley. He was pulled out of his hand, and he's not a footballer. But
Kiley backed himself, took on the defender, set up Ozzy, and Ozzy there just pulled and dragged as he went forward. It's a penalty. The man to take it, Stephen Bennett. We've seen some brilliant penalties over the last few weeks. Tony Kelly has buried a few. Ford has buried a few. TJ has buried a few. Now it's the turn of the man from Ballysaggart.
This is huge.
Stephen Bennett. It's huge. Is he going to tip it over the bar, or is he going to go for a bullet? He's standing still, but he is powering those shoulders, powering the wrist. Take the shot.
Yes.
Goal! Super goal, Stephen Bennett. He backed himself. There was no run up. He spread his legs, lifted the ball, back at the left. Brilliant from the Ballysaggart days. Super score when we needed it, as you say, Fergal.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes in, Kieran, 11 minutes in. We've gone 7 points up. It's there for us now. We need to drive it on from here.
45 minutes is a good time. Every time is a good time to get a goal. But coming up to that water break, brilliant goal. He backed himself. Normally lads like a run at Fergal. He spread the legs and gave it along the carpet. Skid it into the corner. Give Hogan no chance.
I love Stephen Bennett as a free taker. There's none of this showboating. There's none of this, rugby thing of taking 10 different shapes and steps and whatever. He just steps up and he slots it home. Brilliant by Stephen Bennett.
He's done it in the back garden in Ballysaggart with the brothers. If you can do it there, you can do it anywhere. He's done it here. Line ball, Waterford. Caleb Lyons. Good play, Caleb. Back to Jamie. The engine inside the 45. The Messi of hurling at the moment, but slips to the ground there. I wonder if his dad Jim here. I'm sure he is, and as the ball goes across, won by Waterford over on the far side, outside the Waterford 45 there. There's a lot of pressure on. Alan Flynn gets it for tip, slipping in these greasy conditions, and the ref I hope will allow for that. Jamie Byrne offloads the ball really into no man's land. Coming out, Páirc Maher, 6-time All-Star, the third of Sarsfield. He's done it all, looking for the passes, bubbles the wire. And in the end, Noel McGrath sends it over the bar. Good score, Tipperary. Lovely crossfield pass over the bar. Bubbles was around, but it was Noel McGrath. Took it in the end. 2:15, 3:18 Fergal for 47 minutes.
Yeah, we have to be aware that Páirc Maher is sitting in that pocket and we can't poke loose ball in on top of Páirc Maher.
2:15, that's 21 points. 3:18, that's 27. You're listening to George Corbett, Skoda, big match wherever you're listening to us. Hope you're enjoying. Waterford attack down to Desi in these greasy conditions. Barrett got the better of that one, read it well, just hopped up brilliantly for him. If it didn't, Dizzy was gone. Now they're on the attack, the Tipman, but the ball skids out over the line. You can see the difference, Fergal.
Yeah.
It's a very hard surface. It's greasy on top, and it's just bouncing off it. Sub now coming on. Dan McCormack being called ashore, and the man coming on,
Willie Connors. Yeah, and he can do damage, Kieran. Again,
he's a man, brilliant in the county final last year for them, and Willie knows again how to get a team going. Inspired the boys last year, and in the club, also warming up down under is Niall O'Mara, as the man could see action. 2:18, 2:15, 3 points between the sides. The time 48 minutes. The ball now with Brendan Maher. Tip is trying to set something up here. Michael Breen, he's done it before from the middle of the field. He could do it again. He's gone for a long one, and he's got it. He backed himself. And the UCC former student sends it over the bar. Good score, Michael Breen. He's 28 years of age, but he knows how to find the post and is a very, very industrious midfielder and a skillful one to boot. Now what can Waterford do now to build away here? Peter Hogan lost the ball but gets it back. Oh, the intention was good, trying to get it through to Jack Prendergast. Intercepted. Ozzie Gleeson comes in. What's he going to do? Tries to scoop the ball on. Inside is Jack Prendergast. Gets a bit of a rattle there. Ozzie just tried to scoop it away. Coming in to get the ball is Michael Kiley. He's on the D. Loses the ball in this helter-skelter stuff here. You haven't chanced to think about it. You just have to just grab it. But in these greasy conditions, it's easier said than done. Desi Hutchinson gone way back to get that ball. Out to Stephen Bennett. Won that ball. Off his shoulder is Caleb Lyons. He shortens the grip. He takes his shot. He sends it over the bar. What a score, and would you believe the man, he got it from the fence there out to the middle of the field. What a score by Bennett.
Yeah, and Bennett, he's got 1-2, he's got the penalty, he's got 2 points from play, his dander is up, and we're going to need him if we're going to close out this game.
3:19, 2:16, that's 22 points. 2:28 as we approach the water break. Ball down here, it's going to be line ball here. Good Waterford support here, enjoying every minute. There's no one leaving early today. Wherever you are, hope you're listening to us, to Michael Maher there, and to all the Prendergast and Whites down and listening to us down in Australia. And of course our old friend Noel Mernon as well, listening in as Tip win the ball. Oh, that was a hard challenge. I felt that one up here. Play answers the referee. Jason Ford shortens the grip, has a look, takes his shot, but it's gone right and wide. Wide number 11 for them. Normally bread and butter. It's right and wide. Letter for Waterford. Thought that was a hard challenge.
Savage hit by Ozzie there, but again, other referees would have blown a free for that. It wasn't a free, it was a savage hit by Ozzie, and it's a statement of intent for sure.
50 minutes gone. The George Corbett Skoda big match. Club Daisy, Cappoquin Logistics, and of course the great TQS sold the company recently, but they've committed for another 3 years here supporting Waterford. As Mike Kiley wins the ball gone aside, chance for Waterford, chance for Daisy, takes a shot, over the bar there, set up by the young man from Abbey's side, the under 20 star, showed coolness personified, fed it to Daisy, over the bar it goes. Great score, Daisy, well set up Kiley.
Yeah, Kiley's made a huge impact. That's a pass, an assist for Daisy, and also he was instrumental in the penalty.
So Tip now 3:20, 29, 2:16, 22. Tip on the attack, down into the corner. Oh, did Prunty get Callan there? I think he did.
Yeah, Colin Ryan's even up. we like that, but I
big call.
Yeah, I would have given a free. Bubbles, I think Prunty, he did foul Bubbles there in my view. But we like this. Look, we're prepared to accept it on the other side as well, Kieran. But I think if you're a Tipperary supporter,
O'Shea is furious on the line there, as was Sheedy there, but he gave Waterford the benefit of the doubt, and now we win that ball and get it across. Out comes Sean O'Brien. He's coming out near his own 35, 40 metres out from his own goal. Sends it long into the danger zone. It's a case where that ball will break down to. Will it go out over the line? Yes, it does. It's skidding along that grass. It's not given a chance to knock a ball down to someone. It's a line ball for Waterford. Ozzie go for it again. Mikey Beavens is down there.
There's no question.
Tommy Vara, man. As I mentioned, his clubmate Tommy Dunn down the line there, part of the Liam Sheedy's backroom team. Liam Cahill stands there. Behind him as a selector, Stephen Frampton. They played against each other way back in 98 when the big breakthrough came. I'm old enough to remember that, Fergal. I think you were playing that day. It's a line ball. Austin Gleeson just inside the 45. Stands side. Has he pulled it a bit left? He's turning in. Oh my God! Rory McIlroy, eat your heart out. He faded it in beautifully. Class personified. Write it down as another Aussie special. It's a water break and Aussie sends it in. with pep in her step. Come on, says the Waterford support, Fergal.
Yeah, when Ozzy is in this kind of form, when his dander is up, when he's in this kind of form, he just believes he can do anything, and sometimes he can, Kieran. That is exceptional. That's 2 points from sideline balls. The normal ones just saying, don't go for it. When you're Ozzy Gleeson, you're in that form, go for it every time.
I'm a firm believer, if you're happy Monday to Friday, he's flying in TQS. Maura and Tom have given him great opportunity. He's grasped that opportunity. If you're confident off the field, you're confident on, and that's been replicated today.
You're going to absolutely see the maturity in Ozzy over the last couple of years, and he's leading this team now. He's a leader. Himself and Stephen Bennett. Kieran, we've been calling for Darragh Lyons to come on. I think he should. But who do you take off? They're all playing. They're absolutely leaving everything out in the pitch out there. There's not a player I could say now he should be called ashore. Darragh Lyons brings this extra bit of injection, this extra bit of pace, this extra bit of tenacity. But there's not a player there I'd want to take off.
You've Monty, you've Jake, you've Colin Dunford, Mikey Carney, Kieran. There are options there. I need to bring your finishers now, I see.
Yeah, but I'm not sure would I make a change now. Things are going well. Yeah. And yes, you do want to bring your finishers. You do want to see.
Not too soon.
Yeah, but everybody out there is still contributing hugely. They still have running. They still have legs in them.
See Neil Montgomery being called down, the big man from the Abbey Side Club, but Pat Flynn is writing down, and well done of course to Ger Harris. Now thanks to Ger Harris, the team secretary, does a lot of untold hard work, to Brendan McCann, the doctor, the dietitian Laura, Tommy Reinstein, condition Martin Bennett, and of course the great Chunky who had him down there last Sunday morning in the ice baths. Every bit is counting. Now we need it to count more than ever.
It's 8 points, Kieran, and in the old days 8 points with 10, 12, 15 minutes to go was nearly insurmountable. In the modern game it's not. 8 points is not that big a lead. A goal and 3 points can be in 3-4 minutes.
Fergal is third game in 14 days. This is where the hard fitness, the graft they did in their own, the gym work during lockdown, this is going to pay, or is it going to tell?
Yeah, it's mental as well, Kieran. It's in the legs, it's in the head.
Long ball now, ball gone straight into the forward line there. Mark Keogh, he's going for the juggler. Is he going to be fouled by Ian Kenny? Yes, he is, carrying it forward, but he pulled him from way out the field. He was heading in for the penalty zone, but it started from well out there.
And lucky it wasn't a penalty, because Ian Kenny did foul him and he was going through on goal. Now I know there was other players back, but he was through on goal, so it could have been a penalty.
Well, Colin Lyons, as Finbar McCarthy said, he's having the blinder, but from a Waterford point of view he hasn't done us any harm. But the open free flowing play suits us. It's a tap over free, or will he just try a bullet? This man is well capable of burying it in the back of the net. It's outside the D, it's 20 metres out, hits it into the city end there, over the bar it goes for Jason Ford, keeping that scoreboard ticking over. That's what it's about. It's 2:17, that's 23, 3:21, that's 30. 7 points of a differential on the George Corbett Skoda big match, live from Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Fergal Hartley and Kieran O'Connor bringing you all the action. Sean O'Brien with the puck out. The Carton controls, man, near the 45. Ozzy goes high, knocks down, picking up as Noel McGrath. Noel just offloads the ball to Alan Flynn. Alan has the ball, he's the man off his shoulder. That's Ronan Maher, but he backs himself in around the D. It goes. This could be very dead. Dropping down with the ball, picking it up is Shane Bennett. Lovely pick and turn there, bounces off one tip man, but loses the ball, overcarried it. That could be very, very dangerous. Mikey Kiley is back helping as well, and Mikey Kiley wins it. Good play by the young man from Abbey side there. Hook from behind as he went forward. Great hook from behind. But Waterford keeping the pressure on. Alan Flynn has it now. 65 metres from the Waterford goal. Tip on the attack. Noel McGrath has it. What can they do with this ball now? Oh, lovely ball inside. Keogh has given it inside. It's Noel McGrath in space. Is there a goal on here? Good chance for Bubbles. What a save. Back for Callan. Callan hits it wide there. What a signal for Tipperary. They did everything right. The ball came out. Brilliant save by O'Brien. But on the ricochet, you'd put your house on Callan back at the net. Woo, left and wide.
Oh, let off for Waterford, Kieran. And that goal with 7 points in it, that goal could absolutely have changed the whole tune of this game. So a huge let off for Waterford.
Sean O'Brien steadies it down, the puck out. Dad the butcher, not sure if he's working today or is he here in the stand. Great to see all the parents back, the buzz back. We're a long while waiting for an atmosphere. Might be only 7,000, but there could be 70. Desi wins it from the puck out. He's putting on the burners. He's near the 45. Loses possession, bit of overplay. Works the ball back. A chance there for Peter Hogan. Ballygunner to Ballygunner there. Desi held it up off his shoulder. Peter Hogan. This man is relishing the middle of the field. Class. Well done, Desi. Great finish, Peter.
This is a man of the match performance. 3 points from midfield from Peter Hogan. Three from Jamie Byrne. Exceptional.
3:22, 2:17. Tip though won't go down without a fight. We know they can get goals. They'll go for the juggler. Noel McGrath near the 45. What's he doing? Steadies it up. Back to Ronan Maher, the halfback, the Thurles Sarsfields man. Has a look, takes a shot, steadies the ship over the bar. Number 3 for Ronan Maher. But what a finish above there. And combination between Desi and Peter.
And look at. We need to just keep this scoreboard ticking over now.
Seamus Callan comes ashore there and he'll get along. John McGrath is coming on.
Well,
younger brother, of course.
That tells you a lot about the game that Conor Prunty is after having today. It's not too often you see Shamie Callan be called ashore.
John McGrath is on. He's 27. He's 6 foot tall as well. He's got a few great goals for Tip in the past. They want one from him now. 3:22, 2:18. Ball goes long. Ball drops to Bennett. Steadies himself. Works the ball back brilliantly. Jamie Byrne. Jamie steadies. Has a look. Takes his shot. Super score. Well set up by Bennett and finished by the All-Star. The Moon Tour. If he was back teaching up in North Cork, he'd be giving them a lala on Monday.
You're going to have to see that back on the television, that flick from Stephen Bennett. Miscontrolled the ball but then flicked it back to Jamie Byrne again. Just absolutely, the audacity of it. Super Stephen Bennett.
Skill, it's confidence more than cockiness. Mark Keogh has the ball over on the far side, going near the sideline. He'll go for this, and the Kilsheelan man, the Kilcash man turns it in. Has it gone over? That's a super score by Mark Keogh. He'll be disappointed not starting, but he's making his presence felt. Former UCC star, of course, Fitzgibbon Cup winner. He has the hurl. Eamon O'Shea is driving on. Liam Sheedy, his hands and hips. He brought him to glory in the past, in 2010 and 2 years ago again, but he wants it all to happen again. Long ball for Waterford in around the danger zone. Hogan does well to keep his eye on the ball. That's Barry, the Tip goalie. Out to the experienced Maher, the 32-year-old Páirc gets the ball across. Stephen Bennett comes in to intercept near the just slips in the conditions there. Tried to control it there. Hard to keep the footing. Probably wrong cogs on, but it's too late to change him now.
Jack Fagan looks like he's out on his feet here and he's given his all. I think now is the time for that change. Bring on Darragh Lyons. He'll bring that extra injection of absolute intensity, tenacity, pace. As I say, Jack Fagan has emptied the tank. I think now is the time to make that change.
57 and a half minutes. 3:23, 2:19. Waterford in front, but not a comfortable lead when you're playing Tip with the goal potential they have. Ball drops inside the 45. Ball breaks. A chance for the Tip man here. Willie Connors, first real touch for Willie under a bit of pressure and into traffic inside the Waterford 45. Way over near the far side. They scoop the ball back. Taking the ball is Brendan Maher coming forward. And Brendan sends it right and wide. He'll be disappointed with that. It's wide number 13 for them. We've had just 8. Was the scoreboard counts, Fergal? 3:23.
Yeah, they haven't got a return from their halfbacks, from Ronan Maher, Brendan Maher, in terms of long range shooting. 22.
Monty is coming on. We saw him warming up there. Yeah. Did a big impact last year against Kilkenny when it was needed in the semi-final. The big man from beside Ballynacorty. His dad, I'm sure, has left the crest cleaners good and early and leave the staff take over because his dad and mum, I'm sure, are here today. Proud to see their man coming on in Munster Championship as the ball just goes to John McGrath and he sends it over the bar. He's saying, why wasn't I on an earlier, Liam? That's a lovely score. 2 scores from the substitute. Coming off is Jack Prendergast. Again, Jack ran himself to a frazzle there in the middle, that middle third. We're bringing on the finishers, and that's what it's all about. Jim Gavin said that about 10 years ago.
We need legs now, Kieran. Okay, the game is opening up that bit more. There's a lot of loose play down in the Tipperary backline. We need legs who can just chase and chase and chase for this last 12 minutes.
Well done, Jack Prendergast. Granny May and Mum Bernie will be happy with that performance. And let's hope to see us over the line. 59 minutes, 3 goals and 23 points, 2 goals and 20. Waterford repossession. Bennett again, just giving it everything. Desi helping there as well. He has options. Gives a lovely ball across to Michael Kiley in space. Shortens the grip, takes his shot. Is it going over? That's exactly where it's gone. Brilliant score by the Abbey-side ace.
Sub to sub, Kieran. That was Montgomery to Kiley, but that's what the fresh legs came in. He absolutely fought for everything with that ball, won it, and gave a brilliant ball out to Kiley and a brilliant score.
Abbey-side to Abbey-side. The last score was Ballygunner. Abbey-side to Abbey-side. Wherever they come from, we'll take them. Super score by the 20-year-old, the under-20 star, the rising star from Ballynacorty and Abbey-side club as Tip go on the attack. 3:24 to 2:20.
Line ball.
Kieran Bennett looks in trouble here, Kieran, on the far side of the field, and he's not a player, as you say. No. None of the Bennetts go down too easy. Kieran Bennett is stretched out there in the field, and
was it enough?
I don't think it was. I don't think it was, Kieran. I think it was in that last contact, but he looks like he's got a fair rattle, and he looks like he's going to be under a bit of pressure, and maybe it's called for a change.
Well, Tommy Ryan and Martin Bennett are over there. Of course, Brendan McCann is the doctor. I didn't see Brendan going out, so when they don't call for the doctor, see Donny Muraku or Statsman Fra rushing down there from the stand. Of course, Tom Feeney, part of the backroom team. He was here back in 98 with Fra against Liam Cahill, but now Liam Cahill is against his old friends and from the Premier County. So he's picking himself up very ginger, and Kieran doesn't go down easy. You say that correctly. A very underrated player on this panel. We saw when we missed him for 1 or 2 games. He has come back, the TQS man. He's picked himself up very gingerly, but I'm sure we'll have to make a substitute very soon. Mikey Bevan's down there, and Liam Cahill. Frampton is there. Donny Muraku, the 5th selector, really. He's the man with the stats. He's the man with the info. New iPads and iPhones as 2 players just crash into there. And Michael Kiley just ran in to Ronan Maher, the 2 of them there, and in fairness, they picked themselves up like 2 good sportsmen. No bit of RG Bard. They get up and get on with it.
Isn't that great to watch? 2 giants of men colliding like trains, and they just get up off the ground and they go again. This is what the GA, this is what hurling is all about.
For a young man, he just picked himself, his granddad, and of course his uncle Ian and Matty and the whole family are so steeped in it, and his dad Benny. But Ian was a fair man in his day, I can tell you, to throw his weight around, but he'd be proud of the way Michael just bounced up. It's a free. It's Jason Ford to take it, and Jason sends it over the bar. They're keeping that scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do as well, Kieran. We just need to tag on.
21, that's 27 to 33.
Yeah, 6-point game. We just need to tag on 1 or 2 more, Kieran.
Sun comes out here on the banks of the Lee. Páirc Uí Chaoimh, the new Páirc Uí Chaoimh, as Tip win possession. This is when they're dangerous, when their backs are to the wall. Michael Breen crashes there. Took a bit on there, and in fairness to the Waterford lads, in fairness to Monty, I think he more or less stood his ground, but he stood his ground, blocked his way through as Waterford warm up. Darragh Lyons, we looked for him earlier. He's the man that brings energy. His aunt and family are up here. His brother, or his father, of course, involved tonight. Derek with the Camogie team, and Dara is a bundle of energy, partner of course in business with Conor Prunty, and it's great to see Abbeyside and Dungarvan coming together, and they're using their facility down near the Abbeyside soccer pitch. So where would you get it, as the free is taken by Jason Ford, and Jason sends it very untypical of Ford, wide number 14, lit off. On comes Dara. The man coming off is Jack Fagan. He gave us some performance in that first half. Again, emptied himself completely. The finishers are coming off. Jack Fagan comes off. He gets a round of applause. On comes Darragh Lyons from Dungarvan.
Yeah, we play a high octane game, Kieran, and a lot of our forwards are looking right now like they're out on their feet, but we've 3 pairs of fresh legs on now.
7 minutes plus to go here in this All-Ireland quarter-final. Ball to the middle. Monty goes high, but the ball just beats him, and the tip man falls back to Paddy Cadell. Paddy gets the ball across to Michael Breen. He'll go for a long one. He's got one before. He got one earlier, and this one has gone over. It's number 2 for Michael, or number 3 for Michael Breen from the middle of the field. Tip sends this up. Sheedy is urging him on. He's waving his hands. Eamon O'Shea doing likewise down under us. They're driving on the men. Tommy Dunn has been there. Darragh Egan, Owen Kelly. They have huge experience on the line, but it's on the field. Oh, what a catch by Ronan Maher. Inspirational by the SARS man, the Thurles Sarsfield man. If this goes over, it'll be the score of the game. It's gone left and right there. What a catch, left and right. Again, Fergal let off for Waterford.
Yeah, that would have been inspirational if it had gone over. Would have really lifted the tip crowd, the tip team, but it didn't. Let off for Waterford.
The sun is out. Hopefully the pitch is drying up a bit. Over on the far side, Seamus Kennedy goes high, fails to hold. Waterford win possession. Trying to just hold it up is the name of the game now. Hold possession. Ball comes back to Kiley. Has a look, takes his shot. Over the bar it goes.
Brilliant from Kieran Bennett. Brilliant from Kieran Bennett. Pass to Kiley. Tap over point. Brilliant stuff, Waterford.
Second point for the Abbeyside man. Over the bar it goes. Off the puck out, goes straight to Jamie. Inside him is an opportunity. Darragh Lyons there. Telegraphed it, and Tipperary come away with the intention was good. Would have been a great score for Waterford, but at the other end it's out in the middle of the field. Tip have possession. They have runners inside. Are they going long? Are they going to try and take on the Waterford defence as we enter the last period of the game? It's a free for Alan Flynn there inside the 65. Peter Hogan going down with cramp, and why wouldn't he? He's ran every blade, and as you say, it's no embarrassment for anyone to come off, and it's 19 for 9. Good call by the management. Billy Power comes on. He knows how to run. He knows how to take on player, and Peter Hogan stretch in the middle of the field. It's cramp.
Well, listen, they have monitors on these players now.
Penny
I'd love to see it in this game. I don't think anyone on this pitch has ran more than Peter Hogan. Exceptional again today. Delighted for him. He deserves it for all he puts into
There's
hurling.
an old saying, run yourself into the ground. Hogan has done it. We met his parents coming in. They'll be thrilled for him because he's been on the fringes for a while, but he's made that midfield slot his own. Brilliant underage player, brilliant for his club, brilliant for Waterford, and he's really in agony there with that cramp.
5 minutes, Kieran. 5 minutes, 5 points. 5 points is not an insurmountable lead in 5 minutes, and there's going to be a couple of minutes of injury time as well. So
Roger Casey sitting down there, he's seen it all. His wife Kay, not quite sure, he's up in the stand. Donny Muraku's there, the stats man. Shane Fives is warming up, the experienced Fives, the 32-year-old also warming up.
I think it's something to do with a helmet strap that he's enforcing McNulty off, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, you're right, I think. And let's see how quickly we can change that. 65 minutes, 3:25, 2:23. Ball down towards Desi. Desi and Barrett. Good cornerback and good corner foul. Barrett busts out. The all-star cornerback, and his foul coming out of the ball. Desi. Barrett really with the bit between his teeth and got the better of that exchange. Brendan Maher takes the free very, very quickly, dropping inside the 45. They have it. They're on the run now. Mark Keogh, he's going for a goal. He's inside the D. He's inside the 20. Gets the ball across. What can they do with it? Good chance of a score. Oh, saved on the line. Saved on the line brilliantly by Sean O'Brien. It was going to creep in. O'Brien got down to it. Out for 65. That's a super. That's a game-winning save.
Yeah, but John McGrath actually got a loose ball. Ian Kenny made an exceptional block. Half blocked the ball, and a great save by Sean O'Brien. A brilliant pass to play. Kieran, what excitement. I mean, at the other end of the field, I felt Desi, we should have had a free. Carl Bard pulling back Desi again in the spirit of the game, the way it's been. Maybe they don't give them all, and we got a free out. And it should have been a free in, a point for Waterford. Turns out now it's going to be 65, and most likely a point for Jason Ford.
Shane Fives comes back to Turin man there because McNulty's okay, and Ford just puts it over the bar.
4 point game.
4 point game. There's 3 minutes of normal time with stoppages. I suppose you're talking about 6, 7, 8, even up to 8 minutes. We know what we got the other last week, but we'll follow the play. It's up to the stewards. There's enough of them here, or the officials here, to watch the clock. We're watching the game, and what a game we're being served up. Tip coming out with the ball. Willie Connors down into the forward line it goes. Hard hitting by the Waterford defence. Monty's back covering. Good play by Montgomery, but his clearance is a poor one. Straight into a tip man. This could be a score. It looks like a good one. Is it gone left and wide? Oh, it's gone over the bar there.
Willie
Connors has come on. Montgomery won it well, but he's clearing straight to Willie Connors. He says thank you very much. Over the bar it goes. Tip can smell blood. The blood of Waterford. 3:25 to 2:25. 31 points.
Yeah, 3 point game, 1 goal game.
Oh my God.
This is huge.
34. Huge puck out. Tip now with the wind in their sails. They're playing into the city end, and they're looking like a team that got a new revival. Backs to the wall is when they play their best, and now they're playing their very, very best. We know what they're capable of. Páirc Maher, the 32-year-old, out near the sideline. Oldest man on the field. Held up by the Waterford man. Was he fouled? Yes, says the referee. In fairness to Ozzy and Prunty, 2 big men around them. What were they to do? And letter of the law, as you say, a free. But this is going to tip. We hadn't heard it all day.
We haven't heard all day. Ozzy, in fairness to him, he's had an exceptional game. He's out on his feet. He couldn't make that ball. I really think the lads need to make a change here. I know you don't want to take off Austin Gleeson. He's such an inspirational player, but he's absolutely out on his feet now. We need fresh legs.
Ford with a chance to bring it back to 2. And that's exactly what he's done. 1-11 Jason Ford. 2 points differential Fergus. Squeepy bump time. We had it last week at 69 minutes, but it's tip we're
we
playing.
need to slow this game down. We need to kill it as much as we possibly can. Wait for that board to go up. I'm hoping it's only 2 minutes, but this is danger, Kieran.
We had a few stoppages with lads with cramps, but it'll be up to the referee and indeed, as I say, the fourth official on the line. He has the stopwatch. He has the board, the all-important board. On the 20-metre line, was there a foul on the Waterford man there? It's Kiley one. It seems to hit the ground there. If anything, at worst it's a throw in, and I think that's what the ref is going to do. He's going to throw it in. as Tip win it again. They're winning that breaking ball now, and they're really coming into their own. The older legs that people worried about are coming to fruition. It's the last chance. Páirc Maher coming up for a long one. He's hit it left and wide. More known as a defender, and you can see why.
Get the subs on. I see Liam Carroll calling for a sub. I'm not sure who he's calling up, but he's calling for a sub to come on. We need to slow this game down. 3 minutes of extra time. Sean O'Brien needs to slow this down, get it down to the far end of being Jack Charlton style, get it away from the danger area.
3 minutes of additional time. Colin Dunford, the Colligan Express, is warming up to come on. Drop going long, ball drop for Waterford now. Darragh Lyons in possession, steadies himself, gives the ball across, a chance for Waterford to pull the trigger, over the bar. Monty to Monty. Paddy Joe Ryan will be jumping into the stand if he's here today, because it was set up by one substitute, Darragh Lyons, and it was finished, or was it Caleb Lyons, but in the end finished by Monty.
It was finished by Monty, and it was Darragh Lyons, but the two pairs of fresh legs who had the running in him, they created and they made it, and they took that score.
Monty took it brilliantly.
It's Ozzy is off, his legs were gone, Ozzy's gone off.
What a round of applause for Ozzy. We're into injury time. 3 minutes of injury time. One goal between the sides, but a goal against Tip is dangerous. Alan Flynn coming in. The ball blocked down inside. Kenny again to the rescue. Super cornerback play by Kenny. Ball works out to Kieran Bennett, bursting out with the ball. Slips to the ground. Hard to keep your feet in these greasy conditions. Bursting out with the ball. Bennett wins it again. Overplayed it there. And Tip have gone through. This could be very, very dangerous. A chance for Tip. A chance for a goal for Tip. Brilliant defensive work there. Waterford tracked back. I think it was Bennett actually tracked back, but Tip having again. Noel McGrath going through. Chance of a goal. They're going for the juggler, take the shot. What a save by Sean O'Brien. What a brilliant save. Over the bar it goes, but that goal looks certainly on. Sean O'Brien, we owe you one. What a save.
Kieran, unbelievable from Sean O'Brien. As Dunlogue said, he'll make some great saves. Will he ever make a more important one of that for Waterford? This is right. This is like something, you can't make this excitement up, Kieran. Exceptional. It's unbelievable.
3:26, 2:27, 71 and a half minutes. Those 1.5 could be very. Monty again, he's on the run. Monty steadies himself. He's backing himself. Takes the shot. That's it, Monty. What a goal by the big heavy side man. Backed himself as Connie nearly for the point, but Monty has done it for a goal. Super goal by the heavy side ace. Paddy Joe will be happy to see him perform as he is. We know how much he praises that man all year. The ball goes to Darragh Lyons. Darragh Lyons gives the ball across. What's going to happen here? A chance for Monty again, and he sends it over the bar. Unbelievable finish by Monty.
Talk about super sub here. Talk about super sub. Absolutely inspirational from Neil Montgomery, and likewise Michael Kiley earlier.
Super score followed by a super point by the substitute. Monty 1-2 since he came on, and now we're on the attack. 4:27, 2:27. Waterford trying to steady it down. A chance for a score. Colin Dunford, the Colligan Express. I saw his mum Tricia somewhere in the stand, and Granny Tricia as well.
Game set match, 15 seconds left.
He's stuck with it when many players would have left the panel, and he's a vital part of this panel, the Colligan man. The ball goes to Caleb Lyons, coming up the sideline. From the sideline, takes his shot, but it's blocked down over the line. Steady it down, says Liam. They're all looking at their watch. I'm looking at 73 minutes on my watch.
This is it.
The Waterford crowd are on their feet. We haven't beaten it for a while. Today is going to be the day for Waterford. Line ball, Bennett coming. What a proud day for the Bennetts. 3 Bennetts starting out on this Waterford team. You have to go back to the great Whelan's of Portlaw. What an achievement. 3 brothers playing senior into county and all playing such a huge part. Bennett instead pucks the ball out over wide. We should hear the final whistle. It's all over. And Waterford have beaten Tipperary for the first time since 2008. We suffered 7 defeats, we'd 1 draw, but we're back with a bang, and the man that led us to this great victory is a Tip man, but very much a Waterford man today. Liam Cahill goes over. Sheedy, in fairness to him, comes over, shakes hands to Liam. 4:28, 2:27. Fergal, what can you say? I'll leave it to you.
And so sweet for Liam Sheedy to be fair, or for Liam Cahill rather, to be fair. I mean, this would have meant so much to him. But Kieran, these last 2 weeks have been, I suppose, what Waterford hurling and Waterford GA, and I'd say the spirit of Waterford people is all about. These last 2 weeks, Kieran, have been just inspirational. If you ever were in a need of a lift, come to these lads, come to Thurles, come to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, watch Austin Gleeson, watch Shane Bennett, watch Stephen Bennett. It's been absolutely uplifting, Kieran. You know, I suppose after last year's All-Ireland we wondered and we questioned, could they continue that momentum? We're in an All-Ireland semi-final, and I tell you, one team no one wanted to meet is Waterford.
Yeah, look, they're down on their feet. We said it during the match. Lads were substitute, but it's just because they'd given it everything and the finishers came on. And did they finish?
Oh yeah, this wasn't. So Peter Hogan was not substituted because he didn't have a good game. Jack Fagan, they were exceptional, but it's a 20-man game, and nobody seems to do a 20-man game at the moment better than Liam Cahill and his management team in terms of bringing on the likes of Neil Montgomery, Michael Kiley. Made absolutely. I mean, that's what substitution is about. That's what a 20-man game, that's what a panel game is about. Bring on players who make a huge impact, and Michael Kiley and Neil Montgomery in particular, but also the others, Darrell Lyons and Go, made the difference.
4:28 to Tomás McCarthy. We were worried about goals. Would a goal fest destroy us today? We waited a long time. 7 horrible defeats, 1 draw, but it's all worth the wait. What a performance.
Yeah, Waterford are absolutely heroic, Kieran, and they dug so deep in injury time. Waterford were 8 points up at 13 minutes to go. Tipperary brought it back to 2 heading into injury time. But the game changing moments, Kieran, the save from Sean O'Brien, from John McGrath. I mean, if that ball is in the back of the net, it's all square, level game. But again, as Fergal mentioned, the subs, 1-5 from the subs, 1-2 from Neil Montgomery, 2 points from Michael Kiley. Debbie side Crew over to our left, Kieran, are absolutely thrilled with that. Colin Dunford as well with a point. That was the difference between the two teams. Waterford found that extra gear in injury time. 3rd week in a row. I mean, Waterford, they were flattening their faces after the Clare game, Kieran, up at Semple Stadium. Now they're back in an All-Ireland semi-final.
Back to Chunky Kerwins tomorrow morning. But Thomas, when Tip came back at us, as with Galway last week, we backed ourselves and we brought the subs on, and really, as you mentioned, it's a 20-man game, and to all the lads who had to come off, all the lads that were called ashore, they'd played their part, but it's a case of bringing in the finishers for a 20-man game.
Oh yeah, they found that little bit extra, and they all played their part. Darrell Lyons set up a score. Billy Power was there at the end with a little flick at the end, and Jamie Barron as well down in the bottom corner, 2 minutes into injury time. I don't know where he found the energy, Kieran, because you can't forget this is Waterford's 3rd week on the spin. But they dug so deep in injury time.
People think 3rd week is 3 weeks. It's 14 days tomorrow. Now,
the conditioning that team, Kieran, is absolutely exceptional. Absolutely exceptional.
But when they came back in April, both Mikey Beavens and Liam Cahill mentioned they had their own. They had their own training regime. They had their own schedules. They came back fitter than expected. So the work they did on their own in gyms, on the road, just driving themselves on. The person's sacrifice is being rewarded.
Oh, it's really paid off, Kieran. You know, Tipperary were coming in waves there in the closing stages. The crowd were getting up. You could hear it tip. But Waterford still found that something extra, and you know, the subs are the game changers. It was like the battle of the benches there towards the end, Kieran, because Tip's bench made a big impact. Willie Connors, Mark Keogh, John McGrath all got on the score sheet. But in the end, it was that man Montgomery that came up trumps.
Yeah.
Finbar, welcome back. Our friend from Cork, the Neutral View from 96 FM.
Yeah, fantastic game of hurling. I just thought in the last 5 minutes the exertions of last weekend were beginning to catch up with Waterford, and the goalkeeper made an absolutely brilliant save from Sean O'Brien made a save from Niall O'Mara. Yeah. Had that went in, we could have had a different outcome. Instead, Waterford came down and got a goal to win the match. But I think overall they were the better team. They had a better spread of scorers, and the subs they brought on all contributed. So fantastic game of hurling. Brilliantly refereed by Colm Lyons. I don't know what the free count in the second half was. Tomas might be able to tell us, but fabulous game of hurling, and it deserved victory for Waterford.
Now, obviously, we had 3 games in 14 days. We're looking at 4 games in 21 days. This is going to be the test. And we mentioned there the strength and condition, the hard work. They're a young team, but even the great All Blacks will find it hard to do that.
Yeah, they would indeed, and I just hope Austin Gleeson is alright. He went off near the end there. Maybe that might have been just a precaution because of the semi-final next weekend. So it means that if Cork win tonight, he left to dethrone the All-Ireland champions next week, Kieran.
As regards the often you look at man of the match and whatever, but definitely the substitute made a huge impact. But it's a 20-man game now, as you know well in Cork.
It is, and it's the same for every team, and you know the bench is very important, and once fellas realise that, they're prepared to play that. I mean, Cork brought on Shane Barrett and Alan Conley last week and both scored, and they're not starting tonight, so great win for Waterford. I'm off to Thurles. Well done up to date.
Best of luck. We might be meeting you next weekend there. Ken Hogan, I appreciate you coming down, part of the Tip FM, former great All-Star goalie for Tipperary. Have you got a chance to take your breath? What a game of hurling. I know from your point of view, disappointment, but for Waterford, we haven't beaten you in the last eight occasions. We have to go back to 08, but for us, it's sweet. A difficult day for you.
Difficult day for Tipperary because it asks so many questions of our team now. Where do we go from here? But hats off to both teams. It was actually an unbelievable game. 4:28 to 2:27. Tremendous hurling. And again, first of all, from a Tip point of view, I think in fairness to Tipperary, we give it absolutely everything. We fought to the bitter end. Our substitutions made a huge difference. Mark Keogh, where was he? He came in and changed the game, and he set up Noel for that chance that Sean O'Brien made a great save. That
Sean McGrath and Willie
had the wide. Brilliant save from Sean McGrath. John turned in. Great save from close range from Sean O'Brien. Made all the difference. But at the end of the day, Waterford, I think, deserved the win. Fantastic hurling. 4:28, 40 points.
What impressed you most with Waterford?
I think Waterford's play, their support play. I was watching the warm-up. The speed they go at in the warm-up for 30 minutes before they play a full 75 minutes is absolutely exhilarating. You're so lucky, you've got Liam, and Liam's getting the plaudits as manager. We know Liam's credentials, but Mikey Beavens, what a coach. Mikey Beavens, he's like one of the lads himself. He's on his toes the whole time.
Did it with Toomey Vara.
Played it with Toom. I played against him, played it with Toom. What a rocket of a player himself. But I felt that, the wonderful scores, Kiley coming in was a huge difference as well. He won hard ball up there, put it over the bar at the right times. But particularly, I think I'll have to salute your own keeper, Sean O'Brien.
As a keeper yourself, that save, really, you haven't much time to make your mind up there. You just have to go on instinct.
Particularly whether you advance or not, because John showed the ball, as John McGrath would do, pulled it back in and then went for the top of the net. Great save from O'Brien, because then it was a draw game. Anything was going to happen.
And you had the momentum.
We had the momentum, but you cannot cough up 40 points in a hurling game. 4:28 was too much to cough up. I think, Tip would have gone into this game. We'd have done a lot of homework on it.
How was the feel within Tip? Did you feel that you had our number, or do you feel it's important that you'd an ageing team as regards 4 or 5 players at 30 plus, that you had to get us put away early on in the game?
Well, the warning signs were in Walsh Park in that last league game. The warning signs were there. We ran off our feet there, and it should have even been a more comprehensive scoreline, I suppose. But I do feel that, in fairness to Conor Prunty, he got caught for 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the game. What a game he had. He had a huge impact in the game, Fergal, because he came through with every ball after that. And as well as winning possession, he was winning it clean and sallying up the field. That was a huge boost to Waterford, and I think it took great management from at sideline that they didn't panic and bring somebody back in full back straight away. Conor recovered so well and covered the ground so well, but at the end of the day, those chances went to biggin at both sides. Austin had some great chances. I don't know what you think of the penalty decision. I felt myself, but maybe I'm blue and gold through and through, that it wasn't a penalty, that Austin took a generous amount of steps, but maybe there was a foul before that. I don't know.
Ken, I spoke to you after the 2016 Munster under-21 final. You said with special talent. We're just seeing that talent. Might have taken 5 years, but the Bennetts, Patrick Curran, Austin Gleeson, Conor Prunty, Peter Hogan, they're coming to fruition now at a peak in their mid-20s.
Yeah, absolutely tremendous players, tremendous ball players, tremendous pace. But now the belief, I mean that score that Austin threw, the reverse hand pass to Peter Hogan, was it? Yeah. That was an absolutely wonderful score. They're playing with confidence, they're playing with belief. Is it Limerick? Is it a Limerick game now?
I think so it is. Well, assuming if Cork beat Dublin, which everyone seems to think they will,
that's no guarantee either.
There's no easy time to play Limerick, so I as well have taken.
Is that this day week?
This day week.
It's the recovery now. Four games, obviously, in 21 days. Four games on the. It's just the recovery. Irla Daly, I don't know how he's fitting into the plan. Can he make it?
Yeah.
A fantastic player. As this man will tell you, you have to shore up at the back. At the back, Waterford need to shore up as well. Just a little bit.
Conor Gleeson back would be a help.
Yeah,
to
huge, and a huge loss to Waterford today. But overall, we have to say that Waterford were the better team. But for the hurling purists and for the spectators that watch this and the supporters on the couches at home, they must have watched a tremendous game.
Hurling was the winner in the end, but Waterford come out on top, 4:28 to 2. Listen, Ken, I really appreciate you coming down. Former Tip goalie, All-Star goalie.
Going forward.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Ken Hogan there with the final. Fergal, have you got a chance to get your breath there?
Oh, listen, as Ken said, just an exhilarating game of hurling. And for any of the doubters, as I say, of which I was probably one, that is hurling at its absolute best. Before we finish, Kieran, I think, There wasn't a player out there today, A, who didn't give their all, and B, who didn't have a good game. But I'd like to mention maybe some of the lesser lights who maybe we always know it's Ozzy, we always know it's Stephen Bennett, we always know it's Jamie Byrne, but going through Sean O'Brien. Sean O'Brien, okay, was nowhere at the start of this year or at the end of last year in terms of, not that he wasn't a good goalkeeper, but now he's grown into, we were ruined the loss of Sock, now he's grown into one of the best goalkeepers in the country. We've Ian Kenny, who rarely gets mentioned, had an absolutely exceptional game today. Kieran Bennett, who probably always is seen as the lesser of the three Bennett brothers, exceptional again today. Peter Hogan really grown into one of the best midfielders in the country. You know, Jack Fagan, absolutely again, just makes this massive impact on games. You know, and then Jack Prendergast, who again, like everybody else, absolutely emptied the tank today. So I just think we need to acknowledge something we always acknowledge on the big days and the big wins, the big name players, but it was an absolutely 20-man effort, everybody with their shoulder to the wheel, and some of the inverted commas lesser lights were absolutely, heroic today.
Fergal, the backroom team I mentioned there, Liam Sheedy, I interviewed him there about 2 months ago at this stage for Club Dacia, and he made the point that the lads came back on their own for 4 months. From January to April is a long time. They could have taken a different direction. They came back ahead of what they expected with the gym work, with the physical work, with the strength and conditioning. That says a lot about this group. They're a special group, they're a talented group, but they're very driven and very special.
They are, and I think, for everybody, there was a question after last year's All-Ireland final, was this just a bit of a lucky run? Did we get the rub of the green? And that sometimes can happen, and really we had to back it up this year with big performances. And look, the reality is, Kieran, we didn't do that against Clare, and look, maybe we're underestimating Laois by saying we didn't do it against Laois, but certainly as a county we were underwhelmed by those first two performances, and looking at ourselves wondering where are we at. I mean, anybody who was questioning that, we have our answers now. I mean, two of the hot favourites at the start of this year, the three favourites were Limerick, Galway and Tipperary. We've comprehensively beaten Galway. We should have beaten them. The scoreline was not a reflection of that game. Today, to be fair, if Tipperary had them, and if Ronan Curran got that point, which would have been absolutely crowd-lifting and inspirational.
Ronan Maher,
this could have been a slightly different game, but we fully deserved our 7-point win today.
You're going home a happy man. We were giving out about the traffic in Castlemartyr and Killa. We're not worried about it now. We saw one of the great games. Home. This was a great game.
Yeah,
hurling was the winner here for
yeah. I mean, look at, obviously from a Waterford perspective, this is huge. But if anybody who has any interest in hurling, if you're watching this game, and we've had some great games, and this is one of them.
Yeah. Fergal, listen, thanks a million. My co-commentator Fergal Hartley, go away and have a quick pint wherever you can get it, or drink that gallon of water you have there alongside you. Didn't get a chance to take a swig during the match. Final score 4-28, 2-27. Once again, our thanks to Gavin, who's done such a huge job here on sound and as our technical man, because when it comes to technicalities, Fergal and I just barely know how to plug it in. But well done, well done, Gavin. You've done a great job. To all of our analysts who came in during the day on a final score, and a great day for Waterford hurling. We're back in Croke Park. We're back in a semi-final. Final score 4-28 to 2-27. Not sure if I'm handing back to Timmy or Rick or whoever's in the studio, but listen, thanks a million from all of us here. A very happy Waterford. We're back in Croke Park next weekend. Back to you in studio.
The big match on WLR
with George Corbett Skoda.